Hello, and welcome to Q&A Thursday, where we've been off for a little bit, but a lot's been going on behind the scenes, working on new things. I'm having some fun with ideas for how we're going to do a podcast in the future. So if you weren't sure, yes, we're kind of reworking the main show podcast, and we will not be coming out with a new episode of that until this room looks a little different and the new format can take place. So, in the meantime, you can expect to see Q&As either here in the studio or while we're working in this studio to change it up out there in the other studio. So it's just going to depend. You may see the scenery change, but it's still the same Q&A you know and love. So, getting that out of the way. Other housekeeping, fellas, anything you want to get into?
Hi, my name's Levi Gates. I'm the Master of Shine, and I am excited to be back here in the studio.
Yes.
With me to my left, Anthony Fisher.
Thank you, Levi. My name's Anthony here, and I'm currently...
For those of you that have never tuned in.
Yes, I'm currently fighting this sciatica that I have and I've been dealing with for like a month. It's gotten tremendously worse, like probably in the last 2 weeks. It's gotten horrible. So with that said, I may or may not step out for a minute or two just to go kind of get off of my spine, and then I'll be back, and we'll kind of might do that throughout the show. Long story short, herniated disc at my L5, S1, not ideal.
Nasty bit of business.
And nobody talks about that, right? When I was in gym class, right, it was always like, yeah, lift with your legs or do all these different things, right? Nobody ever said, hey, lift with your legs, otherwise you have a bulge disc that pops out, causes leg pain, and it's almost debilitating.
I've always told you to lift with your back.
Yes,
never with your
you've
legs.
always said
use
to
your back.
I figure
use your back, bend over, right?
First day on a construction site, guys
jerk
will tell you
movements as fast
use
as possible.
Use the natural bend of your back to lift up, right? That's what your spine is
the
for.
neighbor across the street told me that.
Yes.
He had been, he was a much shorter man and a little more bent over, but he had said that's what the key to the long life.
A long life, like and also
Lifting
like,
with your back.
like weighted good mornings, right? So you're lifting up in the morning and you're doing that with your lower back. It it builds muscle, right?
That's what they say.
Yeah, if it doesn't build muscle, it'll still build character. So there's that.
Something like that. So, anyways, I just wanted to get that out there. I don't know. I can answer any questions about it, but basically, I'm just kind of on the road.
Give a little thanks out to
road to recovery. I would like to give a thanks out to Dr. Samuels for helping me out and guiding me through this. He is a fan of the Rag Company, and he has been kind of helping me through this whole thing. Anyways. Not ideal. If you ever feel a pinched nerve, go to a doctor. Get that checked out. Don't let it run out for any longer. Regardless, we're here to answer some questions. And as far as a quick little update here around the studio, we've been making some changes here around the office, which has been pretty cool. Our actual control room looks cooler than it's ever looked.
Completely different.
Ever.
Look at that.
It's
Woo!
awesome.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Been rebuilt.
Glenn and Nick have done
Bigger,
a
stronger,
phenomenal
faster.
job making this like
Do we have
the
a before
coolest
picture? Did you guys
looking
load that up
place.
so people can see what it used to look like?
it is night and
to what it is now.
I don't
It's
literally
way more
night
hip.
and day.
It's like a nightclub now.
It is like a
Yeah.
nightclub.
Half the time they're in there. They got an
It's like an esports.
There's a
Well,
smoke
there's
machine?
There's a smoke machine
Yeah.
and an espresso machine.
Well,
I
to be
know.
fair, the smoke machine is just when the server gets really hot.
Yeah, that's true. But regardless, it looks great. Out in the studio, we're going to be making some changes here soon, getting things ready on that front. And then just kind of around the office, just kind of changing gears, setting new goals for this next quarter here. Just want to give a shout out to everybody that's been supporting us and who's been placing orders. And here we are in the end of April, so we're going to be coming up on May. We'll see if there's anything fun that we're going to be doing for some upcoming holidays. I got like a sneak peek of something, and I was like, that may be the coolest thing.
Was it the thing I wore on?
I think it was the thing you wore on your body. Yes.
I mean, you won't get the one that I wore, so
But,
just
you have
clear
to
that.
pay
up.
extra for that.
Yeah,
is
you
what
do.
you have to
That's
do.
extra.
Or unless your Han's closing and you break into the rag
he
company.
might sneak in the middle of the night and steal.
But anyways, we're again, we're changing our direction on the main show podcast. Are we a little sad? Yes. Are we a little excited for what could come out of this? Yes, as well.
I'm very excited.
So yes, you won't hear about our weekends every weekend, but you can always ask about them here on Q&A Thursday because this will still be about detailing, but still be about a little bit of everything in between. So Dane, do we have some questions to start us off?
We do, but before we get to that, I did have one last thing, just because you were mentioning, because you felt a little sad I didn't say your names, and I apologize for that. Didn't throw your names out there.
Okay.
But for anybody
been a
who's like
while.
brand new at this, like they have no clue, what do you guys, you talk about detailing, is that it? So to clear that up, I'm Dane Hennon. I consider myself like the layman, right? So like doing the kind of, here's how, I don't want to say dumb it down, but just for somebody who's not living knee deep in detailing all the time, I like to speak on that wavelength.
You've got
with
enough
people.
to be dangerous.
Right. So by spending
know
time
enough.
on the show, I've learned
Fun
so
fact,
much.
certified detailer in the IDA.
It's
as well.
true. It's crazy. I can do it. I just choose not to.
Yeah.
So there's that. But what I wanted to say was, if you're wondering, like, who are you guys? Why should I listen to you? If you want to hear, like, a normie take on stuff, I'm happy to be that guy. From an enthusiast perspective, that's why Anthony's here. He can bring a ton of attention to detail, kind of that, like, obsessed side of things. And then Levi here actually ran a shop, so he knows a thing or two about actually the business side of it.
Ran a
and
number
all
of
that.
shops and owned
so
my own
you
shop.
have how many years of experience in
At
detailing?
Dane, this is 28 years in detailing.
Yeah, safe to
that
say
was
he knows a thing or
27.
two
It was.
about a thing
It
or
was
two.
it switched
Yeah,
over.
it
as
switched
of
over in April of
to-
24.
Yeah.
So now we're in 28 years of detailing, and a voice resident of over 900 years.
Exactly.
It's
that's
crazy.
it.
Which is
how
just
that
crazy
works.
that he has lived that long. I mean, it just goes
I'm a
to
jack
show.
of all trades, as we call it.
Goes to show a little bit of a vampiric, personality traits have, right? And-
Allows me to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, and while you have all that shop knowledge, you started detailing when you were in what, high school, junior high?
No, I mean I was washing windows in high school, but it was
Yeah.
probably my late teens to start getting into really getting crazy about my own cars.
Well,
and
how
it was
many years
about,
has it been since then? I'm mostly giving
I
people
mean,
a
we're
perspective
talking,
on experience
we're talking like
level
15, 16 years of,
Yeah.
of diving in and being very picky about
Yeah.
my stuff.
There we
so,
here. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that out there so you guys have some perspective. If you're brand new and you're wondering, why should I listen to these guys? That way you know where each of us is coming from, and I feel like we can all offer a unique perspective on the given topic.
I like that, Dane.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. So let's start things off. Dan Pfeiffer. Wait a second, Umberto. You'll come later.
Umberto.
I hit it. I hit
jumping
Dan here.
in
I,
for the
I
Hello
said
TRC
Dan.
team. I
I
think
sent
that
it.
was the control team.
Yes.
control room did
so I am submitting and it's not going, but that's a fun thing.
There
to
we go.
test. There we go.
Dan Pfeiffer with a good afternoon and a word up from Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, TRC gang. Where you been? I've been waiting here since last Thursday afternoon. Right, last week.
Dan,
Right, it's
too
only been a
funny.
week. So we've been
Feels like
out
it's
for
been
a week.
longer.
Yeah,
This has only been 1
it's
week.
only been 1
If-
week.
I swear it's like
Last
2
week we didn't
weeks.
host one.
No,
Oh,
we
okay.
didn't
So
last
it's been 2
week.
weeks.
Yeah, no, we had a week where we did a Q&A Thursday, then we took one entire week off,
Yes,
and then
it's been
half of this week, and now we're here.
Yeah, it's been 2
So
weeks.
we've missed one Q&A.
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Glad we got to that. Anyways, moving on. We have Dan Pfeiffer that says it's a beautiful day here, and outdoor detailing season is back and here to stay. What is something new you are all doing in your detailing practice?
New? I got a new pressure washer.
You
I don't know if
did.
you guys knew, but I got a Karcher.
You did.
Got the Karcher Cube 1800.
Pretty excited about that.
Pretty dope. Nice
Yeah.
little machine. Really enjoying it.
Okay.
Also, got a new McCullough 1275 delivered to my front door
That's
this afternoon.
That sweet,
Excited.
sweet smell of a new steamer. Nothing
Well,
quite
fun
like
fact, my steamer died.
it. Yeah.
Did the warranty program, took the pictures of it. They said, hey, it's out of warranty. I said, funny, this is the replacement for the warranty replacement that you gave me 10 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, oh, sorry, our bad. Here's a new one. So pays to register your products when you get them
I like
so that you
that.
have
For
it. So
that
that's
kind
one
of
of the
stuff,
things.
yes.
I want to remind people, if you're getting some new piece of equipment, register it. Get it registered so you can start using the warranty program. This will be my third steamer in 3 years.
I think a lot of people write off registering stuff, but like for certain things, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I do
Just
it for the rigid vacuum that
Yeah.
Anthony and I love using, that McCullough 1275 steamer, and for that Karcher pressure washer.
Mm-hmm.
Registering that.
All
I also
right.
registered all my new lawn care
Oh,
products
just
as
in
well.
case.
As well.
So,
All right.
Dino, hello, what's up, boys and girls? How y'all doing? Really good to see you guys. Dino, it's been too long, sir.
Seriously.
Good to see you too.
Right back at
See
you.
ya.
We're happy to see you. Oh, one
Then
who shall
Christoph,
remain.
good afternoon
Christoph.
from a boat someplace in Nantucket Sound off the coast of Cape Cod. Wow,
Okay.
that sounds beautiful.
That
I
does
guess
sound
you're
quite
enjoying
nice.
your
Yeah.
time.
I saw in some post someplace a comment saying rehab is the new last cut. Any thoughts on this? Does rehab have diminishing abrasives?
Big
yes,
talk.
yes, and yes. I would say that. So rehab is very nice.
I mean,
But it's not the new last cut. I'm going to say it's a new variant or alternative to the last cut.
I would say so.
You use it in
punches
the same way.
Punches above its weight class for sure. I would say that,
There hasn't been anything on the market like last cut since last cut.
yeah, I would say that rehab is the first, honestly, compound from PNS that is like, I mean, it's amazing.
It's really
it's
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to the other compounds. I mean, I think they've been okay, but this is like a massive leap forward
In technology,
into
and
everything else.
So if you were to go over some trim, you'd be okay.
I don't recommend hitting trim for fun with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think, from our experience in our testing here, anytime we've hit trim, it does turn white.
Yeah.
But it is easy to remove.
You can wipe it off.
with a quick detail or
Okay.
APC.
I only asked that because last cut, that's one of those things that
it's
people
one of
oftentimes
the
like.
I will
about
say
it.
that it has that same similar property,
Sure.
but we don't have enough seat time with it to
know
verify
every
that.
variable, yeah.
Yeah. So we would just say, if you do, hit it, wipe
wipe
it
it off.
as quick as possible.
That works.
Spencer B saying hello there from sunny Michigan. Hope everyone's having a great Friday Eve. Thank you, Spencer. We
You as
appreciate
well.
it, man. Joey Belinsky says, "Oh, I've missed you all. Happy Thursday, fam. What's up, Joey?"
Happy Thursday.
Aaron Bauer picking up my wheels and tires once they're mounted. Should I be using any string cleaners like iron remover prior
Strong cleaners?
to prep for C5? Is brake buster 10-1, rinse dry, and panel prep enough? Well, Aaron, how dirty are those wheels? You said they're new. Did you buy them from somebody?
That's a good point.
That's the question. Did you buy them off of Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and they have never been cleaned before? Then probably yes. You probably want to make sure that you put an iron remover or brake buster and wash and clean them. But if they're like brand new out of the box and they're fresh, no, you don't need to do nothing.
okay.
Panel wipe or panel prep and C5. Right, Anthony?
Mm-hmm.
Then he says, thank you and happy Friday Eve.
Thank you, Aaron. Dan.
Brake buster 10-1 is soft. Anthony knows my preference.
It's the right.
Soft.
It's the right dilution.
And then again with Umberto saying hello, 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 hello,
To
hello,
just
hello, hello,
about
hello, hello.
Everybody.
And
All
then
right.
SM, what's your go-to pair of Brooks for detailing? Great question. So lately what I've been utilizing for myself personally, only because I have them,
Yeah.
is my Cascadias.
Ooh. Okay,
One thing I've
yeah.
noticed is the Cascadias dry very quickly,
Sure.
which is nice. So if I do get some water on them, they tend to breathe and dry out. The problem is, though, they are much more open.
Okay.
And they're made of a different type of almost a nylon than a fabric. So they also are a lot stiffer than my glycerins or my Ghost Maxes. So in the past, we would tell you if you guys want to pick up a shoe from Brooks to get started, we recommend the Ghosts because they're just a nice, even, perfect starting
They're
point.
like the all-rounder.
Yeah.
They're just really good at everything.
And then if you want to move up to something like the Ghost Max because you want a little more cushioning, you can.
well, I
or
didn't wear 'em
you
today. Whoops.
wear what Dane's wearing, the glycerin.
These are glycerins. They're still Brooks.
Yeah,
They're just not my
I've got the
Maxes.
Maxes on. Anthony's wearing some
Glycerins right now.
glycerins as well. So, but the Maxes and the glycerins are pretty much a step above the normal Ghost. So,
In terms of squishiness and
yeah.
comfort. Yeah.
Seems
so
fair.
really though, you do want to try pick out what you like. Some people like a stiffer shoe, so they
Sure.
might go for something like the Adrenaline or the Cascadia.
Yeah, those are going to be more firm.
They might want to go up a bit and go towards maybe they want to go a little squishier, softer. So,
Yeah.
but Brooks has a great little feature on their website that'll figure out what shoe is right for you.
like arch, and they have different
Yeah.
widths available on
All
a lot
kinds
of
of stuff.
shoes.
They have a questionnaire you can
Tons of
fill out,
options.
and then it'll give you the options that you want. So,
That's the best way to go,
Yeah.
actually.
Joey Belinsky, I just got the off-road line from PNS. What are your favorites in the line up? Well, Cockpit's one of my favorites. Pit Stop, another great product.
Yeah.
Full Send, another great product.
For people who don't know what these are, you
Mud
want to tell them
Buster.
what each one is, though?
Mudbuster's a good one. And then the soap is great too. Actually, the whole lineup works. But Cockpit is probably my standout favorite. I love the scent of it.
Cockpit
People
and,
single that
Cockpit
one
and
out as being a
Mudbuster,
favorite.
probably the two best sellers in the lineup.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And they're both really good.
Yeah. So you've got your soap. You've got which is the green soap. I can't remember what the name of the green soap is off the top of my head right now. But Mudbuster is the all-purpose cleaner, degreaser. It's really, really designed for breaking up organic material. That's what it's.
Was it wide open?
Wide open is the that's the soap.
Okay, yeah.
But Mudbuster was characteristically designed to remove dirt and mud, organic material. That's what it's designed for. So if you're utilizing it on a car that you've taken on that is your daily driver or something like that, the degreasers in it may not work the same way that you think they do. What they're designed to do is to help continually break up and unstick that mud from a vehicle.
Yeah, they're focused on off-road for a reason. They're designed for vehicles that actually do that sort of thing versus your standard road cars.
And then the same thing with like Cockpit. Cockpit is an interior cleaner, but it is designed more for heavy soilage and more organic materials. So that's kind of one of the other reasons that we utilize it in various forms, because it works so well at getting, especially on a very, very dusty interior.
Yeah, I mean, you think about areas where you're in a vehicle that doesn't have a windshield or side windows or some kind of covering stuff gets inside. It's definitely made originally with that in mind, but it can work in other situations too.
Yeah,
True.
There's a lot of great things about it.
We have Too Fast, Too Furious Detail Studio. Oh, I'm sorry, Too Fresh says, "What's up, everybody? I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you. We're doing it." There we go. Super Auto also said Mudbuster and Cockpit. Yep, on the same page there. Alex Stewart says, "Hope everyone is well. Excited for the performance of the new and improved behind-the-scenes upgrades."
It's a work in progress. It should appear seamless from your end.
Can we get
as
another
far as
picture
what's
of what
going
it
on
looks like
back
now?
there. I'm sure they have the picture still ready to show
They have another
folks,
picture ready to
but,
show.
look at that.
Woo!
Woo!
Look at
it's
that.
beautiful.
Like I said, it's like a nightclub in there.
And if anybody's curious, the scent in the room is Stjarnaglas Stekada, right? So we wanted to really finish off the night vibes.
It's a nightclub vibe, so it's on brand.
So Stekada really kind of brought everything together. Now, people are sneezing a lot over there because we sprayed a whole bottle.
Nick
but
and Glenda were very upset at us, and we were like, "What are you talking about? It's
a whole bottle. Sometimes you just got to get it in the air."
They said, "Did you pour it into the carpet?" And we said, "In multiple spots."
Well, I told them I sprayed it into the GPU fan, right? That basically now circulates through the whole computer.
Yep.
Not happy about that, right? Their eyes are super irritated.
Poured it into a bowl and set it by the intake vent.
Yes, their eyes are super red.
Everything.
Not ideal.
Yeah,
but
the gold flakes weren't. It didn't help.
It didn't help. No. Franco says, "What's up, nerds?" And then we've got Super Auto giving a little hi.
And, hey,
Armor Detail Supply saying, "What's up, guys?
What's up?
Welcome, guys." Dairyland Detailing. Anthony, can you please go over your house window cleaning process, please?
Dairyland Detailing, thank you. That's a great question.
Nice.
So, cleaning house windows, it's pretty. It can be very therapeutic, right? And also something that you hate doing, but it's also something that can make your house truly feel cleaner than it's felt. And I don't know, there's some weird effect that it has.
As a person who's never washed their windows.
Yes. So what you're going to go and do, you're going to go ahead and make your way around the entire house. You're going to remove all of your screens, right? You may break some clips. That's totally normal. But go ahead and remove all of your screens. What I like to do is I like to drop the screen right below the window. Your screen cleaning is going to be the very last thing that you do, but it's going to be the very first thing that you remove. Once the screens are removed, you can start on the exterior or interior first, whatever is going to make the most sense for you. But I highly recommend getting yourself some type of bucket where you can get a T-handle for a microfiber window cleaning
You can pick those
wand,
up at Home Depot or
you can have
Lowe's.
at Home Depot. But they still like square buckets to make it pretty easy. But what I would do is get yourself a square bucket. You can do a couple drops of Dawn dish soap. It does have some degreasing properties, which is nice. You can also use Joy. You can also use any other Ajax or whatever.
What about like a baby shampoo or
no baby
maybe
shampoo.
a car wash shampoo?
No.
No.
You need something with a little bit of degreasing power, like
What
a
if
dish
I
soap.
mixed some? What if I put some GFS and some Green Star together? Could I do that?
I think you could probably get away with doing something like a car shampoo, right? like either a higher pH one or a slightly lower pH
We're
one.
going to add a little wax
But
or
like
sealant to it.
we're talking drops.
Yeah.
I'm not talking ounces. I'm not talking
No
cups.
glug-glugs.
I'm talking drops. You're going to add that to a warm bucket. You're going to take that microfiber T-handle. You're going to dip it in there, and you are going to begin cleaning the window up and down, right? Side to side, however it works. What's going to happen is you are going to then squeegee the window, both panes, right? Whether it's your screen side or your non-screen side. You're going to squeegee off all the excess fluid, water, soap, whatever you just used on it. After that, right? You're going to take yourself a premium 70-30 waffle weave, right? Preferably the Dry Me River. You can take the standard waffle weave. You're going to go
If I want
through.
to use a car wash towel, an 80-30,
You can use a car wash towel, whatever you want to use. But what I'd recommend is slightly dampening that towel, right? With either water or what's left of your T-handle. You can kind of dab it onto the towel. Go through, clean up any streaks that you might have. And then you're going to have a secondary towel, preferably something like a rip and rag or something that's very thin. Nice. And you are going to have a wet version of that, a very damp version of that.
Did you put this in your detailer's helper belt?
Yep, or you just I clip it and hang it from my side. And that is going to be your window track towel, right?
Okay.
So you can use a brush or you can just use the towel, get in there and clean your window tracks out. And then you're going to repeat the same process for the exterior or interior, wherever you start or wherever you began. But you're going to start with a new, fresh, clean bucket of soapy water, right?
Yeah.
It works best when it's warm. Try to do it out of direct sunlight and enjoy. I typically recommend listening to A, movies, or B, music while you're doing it. Yeah. You can probably make your way around the exterior of your house if it's a normal size house in 30 minutes, right? Inside can be another 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Depends on how many screens you have to remove. And at the very end, right, once your windows are clean, you're going to go back through with another damp microfiber towel, right? Maybe a little bit of APC on it, whatever it is. You're going to go through and clean your screens. You're going to wipe in one direction on the screen side, flip it over, wipe in the other direction on the screen side, get rid of all the dust. Do not tap the screen, right? Don't tap it like dust is going to fall out because you can damage the screen and puncture a hole in it. So clean
If I want to spray them off with a hose.
You can also spray them off with a hose too. You can do that. But basically clean your screen first and then grab your towel and then do a ring around the outside of the trim. And then what you're going to do is gently snap them back into place. But if you remove all the water, then there shouldn't be any splatter that happens onto that window. Yeah.
Okay. I see what you mean.
Was that
Wiping
helpful?
them down is a lot easier than spraying them because you limit the amount of water that you're putting into the screen itself.
Yes.
So I've never cleaned my windows on my house, and I've lived there for 7 years.
Oh.
Originally when I first moved in, I thought, Anthony, you should let me get your dad's number.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I never got that, so I never called.
So window cleaning, if you pay somebody, it can be expensive. It can be affordable. It depends, right? But not all window cleaners are equal, right? And there's certain window cleaners that will. So do you want to know what the most BS thing of window cleaning is that I see on social media every day? They're amateurs. It's literally a joke. It's posers, right?
Let's hear it.
When they do the thing with the squeegee and they go around in the S pattern and try to do the whole thing like that, right? No. No. It's a joke. Doing that method not only takes freaking forever, right?
So you're just a squeegee?
No. Bam. Straight up and down, side to side. That's it, right? You're going to clean up your drips. You can have that window done in like 15 seconds, right? 20 seconds, whatever it may be if you're really hustling, right? When you do the whole like
kind of like the lines in the carpet.
Yeah, it's what it
is.
It's a freaking
at that point.
It's a joke.
It's like decorating putting the lines in a customer's carpet.
I see the things and like I see the things on like YouTube Shorts and like people go, "Oh, that's a guy with true talent right there, right?
Yeah,
that's a guy that truly cares about his work." Yeah. I go, "No, that's a guy putting on a show for people watching on YouTube."
Like I said, it's literally the detailer that
TikTok's full of that too.
Puts the designs in the carpet. I'm sorry, but if I was a customer and you put designs in my carpet, 90% of the time, the guys that are doing that or folks that are doing that, they've saturated that carpet and soaked it. And then you've taken and matted all my fibers down on one side and brought them all up on the other. Yeah. So now they're going to dry that way.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to be permanently have those
wonderfully
in
appealing.
my carpets all the time. Yeah. That's why I'm a big fan of just vacuuming the carpet.
But see, doing that gets you views on social media.
Exactly.
So that's the move.
Like, is it satisfying seeing this this drop of water, this line of water get perfectly cleaned up? It's like, yes, it is. It is satisfying. I get that part, right? But you have to understand, they're still going back through with a towel to clean up the edge work, right? You're always going to clean up edge work with a towel. 100% of the time if you know what you're doing, right? And somebody could argue, well, if you're so good at doing this, then you don't have to clean for edge work.
Yeah.
But you're going to take an extra minute to 2 minutes doing that.
Yeah.
I'm already on 3 windows down, right? And you're trying to make things look fancy. So
What a monster.
Don't do what you see there. Big recommendation, if you can have a separate T-handle for your actual washing of the window to your squeegee, that's the best. They make 2-in-1 combos. Don't get those. Those aren't good. The 2-in-1 combos, the second you flip it over with the squeegee side, if you have too much moisture in the mitt, in the microfiber portion, it's going to drip. It's going to have 2 separate ones, right? Bam, bam.
So what you're saying is a tool that tries to do more than one thing is probably compromised.
Correct.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Correct.
Bam!
Kimberly with greetings, everyone. What's up,
Hey, Kim.
Kimberly? And then Alex G saying hello.
Hello, Alex.
And then Super Auto saying hi to Umberto. Joey Belinsky saying hello. Everybody's saying hello. And then Riggs, Super Auto, you three are always off a little. We are always
to be
off,
fair,
aren't we?
Oh, always a little.
And then Riggs saying, yo, everyone missed y'all. What's going on?
Oh, thanks, buddy.
And then Crispin saying, Mudbuster, since I started this addiction of buying detail stuff, I've gone through more Mudbuster than any other chemical.
Interesting. Yeah.
Dude, Mudbuster it's really good. I think it freaks people out because they go, oh, well, I don't have mud on my car. I don't need the Mudbuster, right? It's not just about having mud on your car, but
it goes after soilage.
The cleaning properties that it has, and it's also got the rust inhibitors built into it as well. So for undercarriage cleaning, it's number one, dude. I mean, if you were to clean anything with the undercarriage, that would be what I would use
or
over
suspension components.
Yeah,
things
that's what I would use.
No,
Joey Belinsky says, this is what I like hearing, and not the herniated disc.
No, I know, dude. Not ideal.
Man.
Not ideal.
And everybody, Dino saying, Anthony, you need a reach your size man to stretch you a bit.
I know.
Franco, always lift with your hernia.
Yeah.
Well, considering where it is, I think you are essentially always lifting with your hernia until it's gone. So
Yeah. I'm not lifting anything. Nothing.
And then Armor with only a few hours left.
Talking about the new product
They've got their new product Hero, yeah. That's right, Dane. And Franco, with enough weight, you make you prolapse.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no. Don't be doing that.
Joey, not enough Max in here. And who else
They've they're on a piece. They're on PCs.
Okay,
inside
that's some back and forth here. Let's see.
There
we go.
Love seeing everybody saying hi to each other.
Yes.
Bearded Hunter says, hope your Thursday is going great. Thank you, Bearded Hunter. Appreciate it.
So, for you guys wondering, we do have Tyler Cucci from Diamond Protect in the house, and he has been
busy
making some videos. So he's up in the conference room right now, and took him to Boise Fry Company for lunch, so he could get some bougie fries.
Oh, of course.
It's been a while since I've had them.
I know, right?
So, Dino.
Yes.
Papa Chrome is not one to joke about. Just that finger action is gold. Look at that.
Boom. Done.
And Neil White saying TRC is back. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
And then cockpit mixed with express interior, you have a nice smelling scent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, my God.
Dr. Owen Samuels says Happy Thursday from your favorite doc, DIY enthusiast in Atlanta.
Thank you for chiming in, man.
Thank you, Owen, for popping in.
Thank you.
Thank you for looking out for our boy here.
David Cervantes, what's up, guys? Been a really hectic couple weeks back at the body shop full time. Anthony, I promise I'm still going to ship you that clip tool.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that. It has been a hectic month.
I hope we have time.
No worries. David Boyce says, Levi, tell how the Opti Hyper Compound and the Opti Hyper Polish, how good are both?
They're goats. They're
we've made videos about them before. People were talking about it. Was so long.
So let's just put it this way: if you're using both of them, especially the new Hyper Compound and the Hyper Polish, they will never steer you wrong. They are perfect. They are wonderful. Last Cut basically took what both of them did really well and made them into one. Now,
a 2-in-1 that's not compromised.
Last Cut, though, didn't have a lot of the cutting power, and that's when we would use Hyper Compound. Right? If it couldn't get it, we would bring out the Hyper Compound.
Right.
And that was how we'd finish out. Anthony still uses Last Cut in some situations and then finishes with Hyper Polish.
I pretty much always do that.
He still uses
pretty much what I always do.
The Hyper Twins paired with Last Cut.
Well, I'm not using Hyper Twins. I'm using one of the Hyper Twin. And now that may change because right now, we're actually sitting in a pretty good spot in terms of compounds go at TRC. Rehab just launched. Amazing, phenomenal, right?
Great stuff.
The new Hyper Compound, the new revision of that has just launched as well.
That is a really
and
good
that
product.
has taken a massive step forward to. I don't know what this new technology is that some of these places are using, but essentially the dusting is gone, right? So dusting is a thing of the past, right? The pad-dependent cut is a real thing.
Beautiful.
But Hyper Compound, it's smooth. It feels amazing. The wipe-off is incredible. The biggest thing with Hyper Compound now, though, is your working time is now extended, so you can continue
Especially for a compound, which usually isn't always the way.
You can work Hyper Compound literally till there's nothing left, and I highly recommend actually doing that with Hyper Compound. Yeah. There is a little bit of polishing oils in Hyper Compound. I don't want to say they have filling properties, but basically you want to make sure you've basically knocked down those abrasives as much as you can, and then do a wipe off, and of course, obviously use a panel prep to check your work. But Hyper Compound, I mean, huge step forward in the right direction. I think you guys are pretty spoiled now living in the days of the compounds that we have compared to not even 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a good spot.
No, it's a different animal. Let's see. We've got Jeff here. Okay, Jeff, I'm going to read yours. Sad to hear the main show format is going away, but looking forward to what is coming. So, Jeff, here's the thing. Give it time, but take this however you will. I'm the one in charge of the new format, making sure everything goes how it should. So if you guys don't like it, go ahead and blame me. If you do like it, you can thank me or whatever. It's fine, but I have a good feeling.
Thank you. Maybe they might thank you.
Hold on.
Or they might burn. They might burn down your house.
You know what? Okay. So the point is, there are changes coming, but it's not being dictated from on high from somebody who's not involved.
No, this was Dane's idea.
This was my idea. And just based on perceptions and feedback I've heard from other people about certain aspects of the show, I wanted to try and do something that's going to make more people happy while still giving you guys what you like, but maybe in a more concentrated form and in a way that will help bring new people into the fold who may have a new interest in it that otherwise wouldn't have given it a chance. So the idea here is to kind of give you a little bit of both. If you don't like it, you can definitely blame me then, but I think there's going to be a little something in for everybody without it being compromised or washed out or anything like that.
You know, I've been building out my new studio, so who's not to say the main show comes back in a new form.
Wow. Okay. So he's going to have himself a little
just
time.
Just messing with you guys. But seriously, no, Dane has put a lot of thought, and
you guys he
didn't make this decision lightly. It was something we all had a meeting about. We talked about. We looked at metrics. We looked at the fact that we've been doing this podcast for so many years. How best can we update, maybe bring it into the current situation? You know, when we started doing a podcast, there weren't many other detailing podcasts, but now there's competition. There's other detailing podcasts out there. And one thing we've noticed is a lot of people just aren't, they enjoy us. And those of you that stick with us love hearing from us. But there are other people that go, man, I signed up because it was a detailing podcast and you guys didn't talk enough about a product, where these guys do talk about this or these guys talk about that. And so Dane has taken all that information and he has listened and he's listened and he's listened and he is building a new pathway that we hope you guys will love.
So not only will the format be changing a little bit, but also this space, the seating arrangement, table stuff, all these things are going to change around so it feels new too.
What I like is we're going to be sitting on the ceiling, which is
you guys aren't ready for that. Get ready to belt in with Velcro. That's going to be fun. But apart from that, because I know some of you would be concerned about the format, I'm not going to tell you everything about it yet because I want to allow it to just breathe on its own. But when I say you guys who already liked it before will still like it, I'm sure that'll be the case. I think it's just going to make it even more interesting for people who otherwise may not have given it a chance.
We're still going to have the same. We're still the same people, and we're still going to have the same humor, hopefully. And so, but it'll just be more detailed.
I've come up with a new way to make it work, though, and it's not just going to be a copy of other podcasts that you've seen. It's going to be something a little unique. So I'm looking forward to that.
Good job,
Joey Belinsky. I hit some trim with Rehab this week, and it does wipe off easily. And then, what should we call you?
Let's call him Umberto, just to confuse people.
No. Thomas. Thomas. Traumas. Thank you, and Anthony. Thank you, and all the other people.
Thomas.
Yeah,
That's what
that
you
may
came
be
up
in the chat for the advice to give me the confidence to tackle a 23-foot boat as the first thing I ever machine polish. That's perfect, though. Dude,
yeah.
that is the best way to work because you've got a giant big panel. You're not gonna mess anything up.
Yeah,
you can literally get the groove.
You can really go to town on a boat, and you're really not going to do a whole lot of damage, dude. I mean, I think there was one. We were on one trip. Remember, we were in Atlanta or something. We were in we were in Georgia, right? We were in Georgia, and we were there for this boat detail that they were doing, and they were polishing on the side of it, right? And it was funny because, they're wanting to go to town. There's a bunch of detailers together, all tackling this boat. But it's funny because, you're trying to go for this perfect finish on this one thing, but then right next to it, there's a giant gash where it kind of hit the dock, it's and you're like,
it's a massive scratch,
and it's like a massive scratch, and there's nothing that you can do about it. But it's kind of like one of those where, well, it could be worse. Like this is a vehicle that's going to get used and abused, right? It's kind of like taking a rock crawler.
Plus half the time that stuff's submerged.
It's like taking a rock crawler and making sure the wheels are perfect, but there's massive chunks missing out of the wheel near the bead lock, and you go, well, they're clean. It looks good, but I can't really do any worse.
Kind of nice,
right?
Yeah. So
can't
damage
damage
it. Traumas. Dino says, I hope Rehab has some things like 3D 510, because 3D 510 on Audis and Volkswagens is the GOAT. Spencer B, got a chance to use rapid rinseless wash for the first time recently, and I really enjoyed it. I noticed that the car has a nice glow after using rapid rinseless wash, and I got to say I'm all about that. Super impressive.
Everybody seems to really enjoy it. So
yeah, the other one I've been
alone.
using a lot is that new SO. I did that SO3 on the Elantra. Hadn't washed the car in 3 months.
Yeah.
So I washed it and then just foamed that. Just washed it with GFX and then foamed it with SO3 and then rinsed it off. That car had a gloss on it. Absolutely insane. I couldn't believe the shine that the car had.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Pretty impressive.
kudos to Kosh.
Jamie the Cleaner says, starting to steam here in the swamp, boys. I'm sticking eagles in all of the wrong places.
He loves his eaglets.
Eaglets in all the wrong places. Jamie, I imagine this is when it starts getting less fun, right? Because
He's sticking them in the pits that aren't your
we look at
arms.
Jamie in December and January, and I go, God, it looks like
Must be nice.
Must be nice out there outside filming, enjoying the sun, the air and all that stuff. He's in shorts still, and then this is where it pays off, being in the Great North. Not the true North, right?
But
Alex,
it still
we're
gets
the
really
great-
hot
we're the
here.
Great
Make no
North.
mistake.
We'll just say it.
the Great North, yeah.
Yeah.
Franco says that he says, I bought a new Bronco Sport and want to put the Aeroskin hood deflector on it. Could I put it on top of a strip of PPF? I've just seen the nightmares they leave behind if it ever has to be taken off. Aeroskin hood deflector. Is it like one of those just?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a hood deflector.
Is it kind of like one of
that's-
those classic bug
Bug
deflector?
deflector?
Yeah, is it a,
things,
well, I think it is.
Like
But
leading edge.
I don't know if it's a bug deflector that is drilled in underside the hood, or if it's a bug deflector that is sticks
Let me look that up
on.
real quick because I'm not familiar with that.
I'm not
one.
really sure either. I would assume that if let's just say it's traditional deflector like on the red truck, I put that on. I had to screw it in a couple spots, and then I could mount it. And then it came with little plastic pieces of PPF to prevent rubbing on certain areas.
It's like your classic kind of deflector like that.
Yeah, but how does it mount? That's the question.
It looks like it's one of those ones,
Wraps
like
up
a
under the
classic
hood.
one where it kind of clips underneath or something.
So,
So it's a big like plastic piece or something.
you could put a little strip of PPF behind it. That's totally fine, Franco. And then Super Auto with y'all have to try these Brooks Beasts, the GTS 23s, favorite shoes to wear now. That's what Tyler Cucci rocks, are the Brooks Beasts.
Is he rocking the Beasts?
GTSs. That's what he likes wearing. I like the Beasts. They're nice. They're pretty much basically they're basically like what we're rocking with the Ghost Maxes. The difference is the Beast is more designed for a wider footprint.
Yeah.
For a wide foot, or the other thing is they don't come in a lot of colors. Mm-hmm. And so we like the variations of some of the colors, and that's why we're
That's
rocking
fair. The
other ones. But the Beasts are usually only come in like a black and a white. And that's pretty much it.
I mean, if you're going to have a wider shoe, that's a whole different makeup.
But they're still super comfy. Everybody that wears a Beast goes, oh, man, these are the best. So, Joey Belinsky, I need a pair of Vessies. What do you guys recommend?
On the wrong end of the spectrum here.
Joey, the kind that you throw in the trash, honestly.
I want you to order a pair of your favorite-looking Vessies.
Yeah.
Right when they show up, throw them in the trash can.
Yep. Just right in the trash.
Pull them out.
Pull them out. Yeah, make sure you look at it. Make sure they're the right order.
No, ideally, I want him to look at it, make sure they're the right ones, and then I want there to be somebody that's in need of shoes to be down the street. I want you to look at that person, look down at the shoe, and throw them in the trash. Because you don't even want to do that person the injustice of
that would just be rude.
That's hurtful is what that is. Now, if you give them a pair of Vessies, that's worse than them not having shoes.
If you want some shoes that'll repel water, you can certainly go to the Brooks website and check out their GTX
I want
line
there
with the
to
Gore-Tex.
be like a rumor. Like we need to spread a rumor that Vessies cause trench foot.
Oh no!
Right?
I'm pretty sure that's not okay.
We just start saying that, and we start putting out all this all this fake stuff, and just Vessies calls us, and they're like, "Are you spreading these rumors?" And we're like, "Hey, if you'd like to sponsor us, you can.
We can change our tune.
Change our tune really quick."
Spencer B. Also, I'm sorry to hear about Anthony is suffering so much from the sciatica, and I wish him a speedy recovery. Back pain is the worst. Spencer,
it puts the brakes on.
It really means
everything.
a lot. But one of the great things is thanks to our friends at Brooks.
Straight.
They're helping
actually,
us back.
I'm not even gonna lie. So barefoot kills me, right? If I'm walking around barefoot. Yeah. But if I throw on like a pair of like the Auroras, or I throw on like these glycerins, it helps tremendously because it just kind of relieves a little. It gives me more cushion when I'm standing and walking. Sure. But I do appreciate it, dude. Honestly, back pain, never experienced this. I've never had surgery. I've never had a broken bone. I've never had anything. It's like the first thing I've ever really had. And I'm telling you what, this is like really sucks. It's not like, when you tell people like, hey, I threw my back out, they go, oh, dude, I threw my back out like last year. I was down for a whole week and it totally sucked, right? Dude, I'm going on like 3 weeks right now of just pain. And so with that said, I now have a complete new understanding of what actual back pain is, and just having to kind of wake up in the morning, start hurting, going to bed hurting, and waking up and it not really getting any better. So anyways, sympathies out to anybody that's ever experienced that. I'm hoping that there's some improvement here soon, so I can get back to doing the things I enjoy doing other than laying on the couch.
Yeah, that's
David
fair.
Boyce.
Well, Joey wanted to scream at you for a
Joey
second.
Belinsky says my Vessies
wonderful grand ambassador Joey Belinsky
required sock change in Disneyland.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have made it as long. Dude. If you had 3 days in Disneyland and a pair of Vessies, you would have been hating life.
No,
I couldn't do 45 miles in those shoes.
I would have been on the floor, right? The thing was, I was able to do that in Brooks running shoes, right?
Thanks to Brooks.
And the thing is the sock change, right?
Yeah.
That should be mandatory regardless. When you're going to Disneyland, I think regardless
especially
of
15 miles a day, like you and I, because we're Disney guys. That's what we do.
I don't really know about that, but I mean, it just I would say anything that has either a torrential downpour or no torrential downpour, right? You pack an extra socks in your cargo shorts when you're roaming through Disneyland.
Well, that's what they're for, cargo shorts. What kind of cargo are you carrying? Fresh pair of socks.
Fresh pair of socks. You change into those, you're going to feel like a new man. And when I take it to the next level, fresh pair of underwear.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you changing that?
Well, you keep that in the other pocket.
So ideally, I'm changing that in Toontown, Dane. Oh, my back.
Careful, don't laugh too hard.
My sciatica.
Oh, my God. Okay, that's the kind of thing I needed to have a moment on cue. That's just...
Two Fresh Detail Studio saying, how do you recommend using KCX Hydrofoam in the sun in Arizona? Should I foam on and rinse off, or use a spray bottle and rinse off one panel at a time? Too Fresh depends on how hot and if you're in full sun. But Hydrofoam actually sits on the surface for quite a long time. So you can spray it on, and as long as it's not drying quickly, you can foam it on, get the whole car foamed, and then I would reapply the drying side, or the hot side, and then switch out your foam cannon and rinse it all off. That way, you're kind of chasing the sun a bit, but Hydrofoam tends to stick and sit for a long period. But if you are chasing the sun, you can actually rinse it off and make sure you have enough time to get it all off.
So we didn't realize how much you can build up hydrofoam.
You can let it sit. I let it sit on my car for almost 10 minutes, and it was still covered in soap.
So,
or the foam.
You hear what Jimmy did, right?
He left it on there.
So
he went to bed.
We were shooting some B-roll out there, right? And he grabs the foam cannon, he smells it, and he goes, "Oh, this is GSF, right?"
Yeah.
And I smell it, and I go,
"No."
Kind of smells a little bit like GSF, but kind of weird. And he goes, "Well, it's probably mixed with something else, but it's just GSF, right?" So he was just grabbed it.
He was just grabbing and going.
So what people don't know, hydrofoam and GSF smell pretty almost identical. A couple different active ingredients in there, so it makes it smell a little bit different. But Koch is, I don't want to say they're overusing that unique cherry fragrance, but I wish they would actually be doing something.
That needs a different fragrance.
They have so
mix it up a little bit.
Fragrances available to them. They need to change it up a little bit, right? Don't kill it, right? Because you're putting in too many things. But he grabbed the foam cannon, which he thought had GSF in it. It's like pure hydrofoam, right? And he starts foaming his wheels, right? So he's foaming his wheels and tires, and he's sitting there, and we're having to do take after take because we have to get these shots, right? These particular, foaming shots. He rinses it, foams it again, rinses it, and me and like Josh Brodel are sitting there, and we're like, "What do you got on your tires, Jimmy?" Like, they're beating beautifully, right? And he goes, nothing's on my tires, right? So we keep spraying the hydrofoam over and over again. It got to the point, right, where the foam couldn't even stick to the tires, nor the wheels, nor the fender liners, nor the suspension.
So much sealant on it.
Hydrofoam was being sprayed into so many different areas, right? It actually, acts immediately.
Yeah,
and so before
does.
you know it, it doesn't even foam on top of itself. It just starts squirting, beating water everywhere.
Yeah.
It was the funniest thing, and we finally realized what he had done. He goes, "Oh shoot. Well, what's the downside?" And I go,
"There is no downside.
I can't really think of a downside, to be honest."
That sounds like my kind of wash.
Everything's just kind of beating off,
Yeah.
and so enjoy. Anyways, here we go. What did I call him? Did I call him Jedediah? No, I don't know. We'll say Kyle.
Not Shiloh. We're gonna call him
Kyle. Kyle asks, Anthony recommended the last cut. Anthony recommend the last cut plus for the boat. Yes. All I had was a Rupa's DA chorus, which worked. What's the difference between the two? So last cut pluses are going to be actually probably more ideal on boat surfaces, RV surfaces, things like that. Longer working time, better time working in direct sunlight. It's going to have slightly more cut with that of like a wool pad or a microfiber pad. And when you throw it on something like a rotary, I mean, it's a beast, dude.
Yeah.
It's a mower. So you're fine with DA course. If that worked, perfect. But last cut plus, you probably would have had a smoother wipe off over DA course on that surface.
There you go.
Okay.
Jamie the Cleaner says he loves busting some mud. Hashtag eaglets. And then
Careful.
Al asking is Boudreaux's butt paste the choice of the swamp detailers? Is the TRC eaglet the choice of the applicator?
I mean,
for Jamie, so we'll have Jamie answer that.
Yeah.
Then Franco says,
he would know best.
PNS, Triple S, okay for small strips of PPF. I bought a pre-cut pillar and headlight kit. Yeah, you can use it. You want to check out some of the videos on Triple S on how to use it with PPF because it's a little different. But yeah, you can use it as a pre-tack solution. If you do have any questions about that, I'd probably reach out to Justin Pate at the Rap Institute, talk to him about some of that because I don't have any experience with that. I know Matt Ward from Diamond Pro Tech, he's been using Triple S a lot for PPF, and he really does like his install.
Nice. And he's picky about that kind of thing. So
he loves using it for the install stuff.
Good sign.
But yeah, Franco, if you have any extra questions about that, I'd reach out to those two. DS. I've been loving the Ultra Wheel and Body Brush on my wheels.
Nice.
Putting it back in the plastic packaging definitely helps reform those bristles back to their original shape after each use.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we were hoping for. I'm super proud of that.
No, that's why we made that clamshell packaging because it is true, right? You get any type of brush you get. Once you get it wet, the bristles, they kind of fix themselves. But once it dries out, and depending on where you put it, where it dries out, even the bristles can go wonky. That's life of a brush. But when you do put it back in that packaging, it does kind of help keep the shape correct. especially if you put it back in there just slightly damp, it'll actually go back to the way it was. But yeah, cool.
Okay. Churdley.
Good
Mudbuster
name.
FTW for undercarriage wash, especially after a New England winter or a dirt road. Joey needs to take his V-dub off highway and get it dirty.
There you go.
All right.
And Jeff C., per my post in the Facebook group yesterday, can you guys talk about spot polishing and recoating small areas? Do you always have to do the full panel, or can you polish up to a break in the body line? You can, Jeff. It really depends on the color of the car, the coating that's on the car, and how the coating reacts once it's been removed. Sometimes you'll get a discoloration in the sense that one part will look darker than the other, and that's when you notice it. Like say I had a car that was a dark gray Mercedes. It had a scratch in the door. I buffed out the scratch, but I could see the discoloration in the panel from where the previous coated panel was to where I buffed, and so I had to recut and polish out those two panels and then recoat that whole panel so that it would match. Does that make sense? Otherwise, it was like I could see the line. And it wasn't that I could go up to the body line. It was like it went through some of the body lines and it went through some of the stuff. And so it really does make a difference as to where and the color and everything that it is. So
yeah, there's certain paints that it's really noticeable on, and certain other ones that you can't even tell. It just all blends right in. But yeah, that is. Yeah, I mean, actually, there's a good video. There's a guy online that did a key scratch removal, right? Like his Forerunner got keyed, or his wife's Forerunner got keyed.
Oh, really?
And he does like a spot sanding and polishing to remove the key mark, but then actually does a portion at the end where he recoats the area.
Oh, perfect. What's the guy's channel?
I don't know. I mean, it's just.
That's
I think
not very
it's
helpful. We
I don't
need
know.
to
I don't
actually know the name of the channel to be able
I'm sure
to.
if you just type in like key scratch repair on YouTube, you probably will find it.
Would throwing Forerunner in there work at all?
I don't know, maybe.
No.
Jamie the Cleaner. Cornstarch is still king.
Maybe they could put your name as a referral.
Yeah, that might work.
Anthony, scratch removal, Forerunner, that kind of stuff. They might be able to.
Yeah.
That, because it's you that is the one that is speaking about it right now, that makes it now part of the SEO of the video.
Well, and speaking of SEO, if you know anything about search engines, there's Boolean operators. So if you operate at a certain time of day, like you type in time of day, perhaps all day.
Like if you were like,
like specify that under day, colon,
so like
and
Anthony, Forerunner, scratch removal, all day.
Or just keep it really simple and just write all day Anthony scratch removal and just see what comes up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That might be helpful.
That might help.
Yeah.
Jamie the Cleaner with a cornstarch is still king. Back there, so cornstarch is still king. Eaglet is definitely the man pot of choice for all you swamp butt problems.
Oh boy!
Wait, you're mixing cornstarch down there, Jamie? Isn't that just turning into like a paste?
Jamie, that's rough, man.
None of that sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joey Belinsky with a it's fresh ball season 2-pack on Amazon. Fletcher with Heyo TRC crew. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Fletch.
For being here, Fletch.
Tuning in, man. And then Al with the cornstarch gold bond for pre-treatment. BBP for them chapped cheeks. That's right.
I mean, just good looking out.
And then Spencer says he uses rinseless wash to clean his house windows and have pretty good success. I bet a USS would work well with a squeegee and a really nice towel. They would. Sounds like that's a great combo, Spencer.
Yeah.
And then Franco with a dash of powdered sugar,
We're
maybe
just really
a sprinkle
on
of
this one,
cinnamon.
aren't we?
Strangely, nutmeg is a no-no.
Oh, yeah.
And
watch
then,
out for that nutmeg.
And the doc saying, wondering when you would force APC versus Casey Greenstar. Thanks.
It's a good question.
Honestly, they could be used either or. They're
can.
pretty interchangeable.
They're pretty interchangeable. Honestly, forced, for what it's worth, for tires, is pretty incredible. Treating bugs, pretty incredible. It does a really good job. I would say that.
Yeah.
I would say that forced in general. I don't want to say. I want to use this word lightly. I don't want to say it's more caustic, but it kind of is. I mean, forced is just a
little more aggressive.
It feels more aggressive almost immediately. Green Start Full Strength is still an incredible cleaner, but I feel a little more. I feel like Green Start Full Strength, your protection that you have on the vehicle is probably more likely to survive than some forced application, especially Forced X for the people that are using that out there that have that level of a concentrate. But they can be used interchangeably. Green Star, what's nice about Green Star is it can be diluted enough down to be an actual interior cleaner when you need to use it, whereas Forest, I probably wouldn't feel as comfortable spraying that on plastics.
I will say that I think it's the fact that it's a citrus-based degreaser.
It is a citrus-based
with Forest,
degreaser.
so you're getting that the citrus itself doing some of that heavy lifting and cleaning, as well as there is an active ingredient in Forest that does help break down. It's a unique ingredient, and that's one of the reasons it is so effective.
Yeah.
That most degreasers, APCs don't have that.
Well, I mean, going back to what we said in the very beginning, right? Before even Forest existed, and we had Koch, right?
We were using Green Star.
Green Star and Power Clean, right? Because we were always like, well, what's the difference between Green Star and Power Clean? Power Clean was still stronger than that of Green Star,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Power Clean is still, I mean, full strength is one of the most. I mean, I would say that rivals Force, maybe even more powerful than Force in certain situations.
Power Clean is serious business.
Power Clean literally can degrease an engine. I mean, like, get rid of years
Ivan used
of
to do it on his
oil
bus.
and grime. It's crazy what Power Clean's capable of doing. But Power Clean is probably more powerful than Green Star. Force is probably slightly more powerful than Green Star. But Green Star is probably just more worldly. You can
The
use it for
one
more
the one
things.
that we use, say, in our floor cleaner out in the studio more than almost anything else was Green Star.
We
to
use
my
green. Yeah,
knowledge.
we use Green Star because the smell wasn't very potent. It did a really good job cleaning up our tiles, and a little goes a long way.
Yeah, I would
This
rather
last-
smell Green Star.
I will say
than
this
the
last
others for the
round
most
when
part.
we did a heavy floor cleaning for TRCMA, we used Forest.
Okay, because historically we used Green Star
Green
a
Star
lot
normally.
in there.
Yeah.
So Forrest must have been as a last minute, just like knock it out.
Yep. And then
Jamie with the full review coming soon.
there you go. And then
Oh boy, here we go.
everyone talk about using them fresh balls, keeps things fresh and dry, less risk of rash too, because you don't need to use the essence of cockpit to keep the boys smelling fresh.
All right, everybody
goes
just
on like
looking
lotion,
out.
dries like a powder, change your life. That's what I've been using the Manscaped stuff for.
Really?
I've been enjoying that. Exodus FX, doing the S is more fun and satisfying though. And then you'll end up with a corn cob. Armor Detail Spry says, totally agree, Levi. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. And then Franco, Jamie the Cleaner, you might barbecue rub, slap your mama. I don't know if it's a Louisiana
It's
Christian,
amazing.
but
Yeah, we
man,
got
that's
it.
Slap your mama. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's amazing. We actually had Demo send us, not Demo. Why can't I think? Yeah, Demo. How do I say his name? Send us
Demo 1000.
Demo, who sent us
Yeah.
the big care package from Louisiana that had the Slap Your Mama, had sauce in there and as well as the powder. And dude, it's so
Delightful.
good. That's probably one of my favorite seasonings. Actually, it's really good.
Kevin Miser with a shout out to the Rippin' Rags. Recently went on a trip and the Airbnb had no sponges or washcloths. The entire house ended up using the box of Rippin' Rags I brought
Heck
for
yeah,
bathing and
dude.
dishes.
Heck
Did they
yeah.
not do an awesome job at that too?
Yeah,
I
you know what I
certainly
used the Rippin'
think they
Rags for
would.
last night?
What's
Our
that?
cat threw up in one of the bedrooms.
Oh no.
No way.
And I picked up all the cat food that had been expelled, but there was still some bile.
Sure.
Took a little carpet cleaner, took 2 Rippin' Rags,
Boom.
cleaned it all up.
The Rag Company,
Dude,
Rippin' Rags,
it's
folks.
Amazing.
They
And
are.
I just
awesome.
put them in the bag and tossed them.
80 towels for $30.
Yeah, great.
The point being, like,
stuff.
whatever you do with
Amazing.
whatever you do with a paper towel, that's pretty good. But wouldn't you prefer a microfiber towel in almost all of those paper towel situations? But you feel bad using a regular microfiber towel because they're kind of pricey
No,
compared
this
to your
was-
paper
This was
towels.
perfect. I was able to toss them.
Rippin' Rag bridges the gap.
No, it's
Covered in
yeah,
cat throw up, I just tossed them.
You just toss them. You don't feel that bad about it.
Yeah, hold on.
all
We
right.
gotta
But I
go.
could have
we've
washed them
got-
if I did feel bad about it.
Got room for one more question here before we jump to the break. I am
Page
guys.
3.
I am
I'm
surprised.
amazed you've sat for an hour.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
You've
Guys,
done a
in
very good
meetings,
job.
Dane
You have to-
and
so
Anthony's
I'm
Do you
been
have your
back
extra
and forth.
cushion?
No,
right now,
I'm
or
leaning
no?
forward, and my foot isn't gone fully numb yet, or my
Okay.
leg hasn't tingled yet. So this is telling me this is like a huge accomplishment. I don't think you guys
Very
realize
nice.
that I haven't
Very
been able
nice.
to do this in a long time. Too Fresh Detail Studio says, how do you compare KCX Glass Cleaner to PNS TrueView? KCX Glass Cleaner has some type of friction modifier in there to where I think it
Makes it
feels
slicker.
a little bit
Makes it
slicker,
slicker.
in comparison to TrueView. And then also, I think that KCX Glass Cleaner smells better. However, it's more expensive. TrueView is much more affordable than
Good value.
KCX's Glass Cleaner. And I think that KCX's Glass Cleaner really, PNS's glass cleaner TrueView can really cut through some stuff too.
Can.
It's got some good cutting power.
A little different chemistry between the both of them.
Yeah, I would say, I don't even know what I would make. They're all, actually every glass cleaner we have is so different. I can't even compare it because even Perfect Glass from Gtechniq can cut through stuff pretty well, but KCX has the smoothest feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, so sounds like we have made it to the halfway point.
We're gonna go take a break.
I'm going to go kind of take a load off my back for a few minutes, but of course I'll be back. So you are going to hear a few words from ourselves as well as some of our partners here in the industry.
Our friends.
Don't go anywhere. Grab your drink. Come back for more, and we'll see you here in the second half.
Reset incoming.
There's a masterpiece waiting to be unleashed. It starts with inspiration, an inner desire for greatness, and a pursuit of the ultimate finish. For artists in the world of reflections, precision and perfection are required at every step. It's work that demands tools sculpted by legacy, sharpened by innovation. For over 37 years, Buff & Shine has been more than a brand. It's a promise to help bring out perfection in every detail. Because the best tools don't just do the job. They become an extension of the artist and a safeguard for their craft. Choose Buff & Shine. Empower the artist within.
Get ready for the future of detailing.
Still using a poorly built shop chair? Aren't you tired of the discomfort and back pain? The days of awful chairs are over. Meet the Viper chair, America's #1 rated shop chair. Made right here in the USA. The Viper chair glides over any surface with large industrial-grade casters. Alleviate your lower back pain with a perfectly angled backrest and sit comfortably for hours with a thick, durable seat. The sturdy metal base provides stability and prevents tipping. Trusted by the best, Viper chairs are designed for every job, automotive, detailing, or anything else you love to do in the garage. So stop wasting your money buying cheap shop stools and get yourself a Viper chair. Handcrafted right here in America. Visit viperindustrial.com now and shop completely risk-free with our 105% money-back guarantee. Shop viperindustrial.com. That's VYPER industrial.com.
Rag Company?
Of course.
Hello. I'm not doing the third one until Anthony's back in here, but I'll
he's
interrupt
still
him with a
stretching.
third
He's going
one.
to be coming in once he's ready. But I wanted to bring up something first before we started the second hour of the Q&A. Something that you brought to our attention just less than an hour or two ago about a fan of the program, TRC, friend of the show, big TRC fan, Joe Wetzel.
Oh, yeah.
For those that didn't know, he was injured in a car accident where he got hit by a car walking in his neighborhood.
Yeah, I was just like, he wasn't the one in the car. So.
No, but you guys know him. He's been in the chat. He's been around for a very long time as a listener and friend of the program.
You may know him as Vigor Auto Detailing.
Yep. So he got hit and had some damage.
It looked like they had to stitch him back together up on the dome there. Did not look like a good time, but a friend posted help him out GoFundMe type thing.
So I just wanted to let everybody know, if you haven't yet, Dane said it is currently in the
Facebook discussion group,
the Rag
for
Company
TRC.
Facebook group.
Yeah, you can find it in there.
Yeah, so go everybody. If you got, we'd like to help him out. He's got 5 kids.
Yeah, it's got a lot to look after there.
A lot of little mouths to feed, and he is unable to work at the moment, and he is a sole proprietor owner of his business. So for those that didn't know, Joe Wetzel needs some help. So I just wanted everyone to know. So please go to the Rag Company group and find that.
Yeah, if you scroll down, the post is there in the main feed.
And I think they have that in the GoFundMe. I think you could search by the name. So Joe Wetzel.
Like Wetzel's Pretzels.
Like Wetzel's Pretzel. And check it out. But yeah, super sad. He is doing better, but
yeah. To be clear, this did not happen like today or anything. Yeah, this was posted a few days ago.
Yeah, it's happened a few days ago, and so he's just always been good. You know, when he had a child, his last child, I think we sent him a bunch of towels for the baby.
Yeah.
And
he did love wrapping the babies up in big towels.
He always wrapped his babies up and would take pictures of them in microfiber towels.
Yeah.
So best we could do is just let everybody know, go out there, reach out, help if you can. I know his family would appreciate it. So
nice.
He's always been there for us. So
yes.
Too Fresh Detail Studio. How do you compare? Oh, we already did that. Jamie the Cleaner and I like Slap Yo Mama, but Tony Chacheries is king of the swamp.
Wow. Okay. He's talking hot sauces.
Tony Chacheries.
No, it's Tony. I think that's like not a Cajun sauce. It's a Creole. It's a Creole seasoning.
Okay.
Is it a Creole seasoning, Jamie?
Please clarify.
And then Two Beer Tony popping in with T-Line Auto Detail.
Hey.
2-in-1 combo is Dane's nickname at the Express Cafe.
I love my combos.
2 combo. Then Jamie wondering, why is Bradley creeping in the chat at Armor Detail Supply? Fun fact, Bradley, good fan of the program, friends of ours. Many moons ago, we headed to MTE. We created a box for our booth, and we shipped it to Bradley's apartment.
Yeah.
And it never arrived until the day we had to leave, and poor Bradley got it finally and goes, "Hey, dude, I'm bringing it over." And he brought our box of our booth the night before we were flying back.
That was rough.
No, we weren't flying out. We were going over to Matt's.
We
were going over to Matt's to spend time with the KCX boys. That was like 2018.
No, it wasn't
2017.
Wasn't the KCX boys? We were.
Yeah, we were. We were going over to Matt's for that, wasn't it?
No, I think it was the PNS crew that was there.
It was the PNS crew. We were going to do that. So
Okay.
Anyway, needless to say, and I got to know Bradley because when Matt had his very first Obsessed Garage get together, where we polished the S2000
and was a Raptor there too?
Yep.
Okay.
Bradley and I basically buffed and polished the entire S2000.
Dang.
There was another person that helped us, but they didn't They didn't really get anywhere.
You're being really diplomatic here.
Me and Bradley detailed that whole car.
There were other people present.
There were other people, but they kind of just talked the big talk. We'll put it that way. So
Interesting.
But yeah, so Bradley's always been a good.
It's always
good
nice.
I like
to know
this, though.
Some background information from our friends over at Armor Detail Supply.
He's trying to be a grandmaster, he says.
Oh no, you're Jamie the cleaner next.
Yeah.
Y'all could use some good towels. Ha ha. They're all laughing at Bradley.
I mean,
then he say it's breaking his heart. Everybody's shining the donuts on him. And then Letelier.
You know how to say that?
I do.
You speak
Letelier.
French?
Okay, so I had a family
Oh, what?
growing up
Hold
as
on.
a kid.
Okay.
You had
I was
a
about to say,
different
do you have
family
like a
than
secret French
No.
family?
No, I had a family growing up as a kid that was friends with my mom. And so the lady, the mother, her and her husband and her kids, their last name was Letelier.
Okay.
And that's how I know that name.
Okay.
So we would do stuff with the Leteliers all the time.
Sure.
And so we'd do like, hey, let's go to the Lucky Peak together. Hey, come over for a barbecue. Hey, come over for dinner. Hey, let's go do this. Like that was, we go hang out with the Letelier. So that's how I know how to say that.
And I'm
name.
sure this is
spelled
like
exactly
real
the same.
Anglo
I hope
pronunciation of it, but I'm sure there's a very French way to say it.
Well, as Letelier, that's how they
There you
say
go.
it. They would say it to us. So anyway, hi. Which pros and cons between Gtechniq ceramic wash versus regular wash versus C2V3 or C2V2? No garage and sunny. So ceramic G wash has some ceramics in it versus the regular wash in C2V3. Doesn't have a lot compared to an initial application of C2V3, but if you've applied C2V3 and you use ceramic G wash within your wash cycle, you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah. Ceramic G wash is pretty good.
Yeah.
Not really a foamy soap. It's kind of just you mix it in, you're going to go like, but you just wash with it. And straight up, by the time you're done, you've made your way around the vehicle with your wash pad, and you've washed everything, you go to rinse it, you're like, hot damn. That's some good water behavior. So I would say amazing results for very little effort. And it works great on coated vehicles. Like it works great if you already have a coated vehicle with, let's just say, CSL or XO. You can use ceramic G wash just to keep it going. Not something you'd use every wash, but something you could probably use once a month, and it would work great. Think of it kind of like Nano Magic, but maybe a little bit stronger than Nano Magic. Jamie
Sorry,
the Cleaner.
I was hunting for that link for the
Says-
GoFundMe because someone was asking, but I can't really do both
Yeah,
at the
that's
same
all
time.
right.
So someone else could please post it.
Jamie the
saying
Cleaner
loving the
says,
mints,
love
though.
the mints, though, / hashtag bussin'.
Yeah.
Must be the mints they put in their orders.
Little
Armor.
treats.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's a reason to order from them.
Carson.
Hey guys, hope all's well. Recently upgraded to the LHR 21 Mark III. What's the maintenance schedule for greasing? Carson?
You just don't.
Never greased mine.
Yeah, just don't.
Never greased yours.
No, let it rattle, baby. That's how you know it's working.
Yeah.
If by the time it comes to greasing, you could try to grease it yourself. There's some YouTube videos out there on it, or you can honestly use it, abuse it, pay the $100, send it to Rupes, Colorado, have them do a refresh on it. It'll come back to you good as new.
Yep.
It's actually might be even better option.
I kind of need to do that with
Yeah.
my 15 this winter or this summer.
My 15's making that rattling.
But we don't
you
have.
know.
Oh crap! We don't have serial numbers on ours.
That's right, because you manufactured them.
We made them
yourself,
ourselves.
technically.
That's true. I don't know how that works. Jamie the
Built
Cleaner
that in a cave.
says, more mints, mo problems.
That's right, Jamie.
You know what that means? We can't do that. We can't send them back. They'll just keep. They'll think we stole them, Anthony.
It's true. I know. We'll have to come with them.
Yeah.
Hey, Simon Birch.
saying hi. Got Joey Belinsky says, if Dane is in charge of these things, there is guaranteed to be a foot cam shot in each episode.
Oh, because of my walking stream, I had to prove that I was on a treadmill, and then that turned into, well, now we're
Dane,
going to do that every time.
There's multiple reasons why you had that foot cam.
That's literally the only reason. Before somebody goes reading into it that I'm somehow like a Tarantino or something, no, absolutely not.
Alex G saying the
No,
main
thank
show away. New format. Details, please. I was not aware. So, Alex, we were just talking about that again. We are pulling the main show. We're reformulating it because we're going to redesign this studio. And because we're going to redesign, we thought, what a perfect time to change kind of the way we do the show. So that's it. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about it. You just tune in when we do the show, hopefully you enjoy it.
It's bold of me to assume anything, but I'm going to say if you like the old show, you're still going to like the new show, but I think a lot more people are going to like the new show as well.
It's just time to refresh, man.
Yeah.
And then,
Good news, the boat didn't sink and we docked. Bad news, I have to drive and can't pay as much attention to the chat.
That's
anymore.
okay.
That's all right. You made it.
Alex G says wasn't. And then Gerard says, wait, what? There were other live details.
Not live.
I know
but
you're kind of being facetious here. I know it's not common to have a live one, but I don't want to get too deep into it. But things will be tweaked. There will be some differences in the way it plays out. Q&A will remain live, though. You can always count on
always
Did you know that our podcast used to be pre-recorded?
Yes.
And did you know that there would be lots of slips that we would have in here where unideal language was used? And we actually had to have, it was Tim back in the day.
Oh, man.
Have to listen to
You'd
it.
have to listen and you'd go, dang it. And you'd mark, you'd make a little mark
so mad.
at a timestamp because.
Just like an hour and a half of like.
Then he has to go back and like cut it
It's
out.
not like a video where you can go back and look and see the swears happening or.
And then I think even honestly in the first few lives that we had some slips in there. There was really not much we could do about it. And is what it is.
Well, one of those episodes we talked about the Space Jam website for like, I don't know, half an hour. So
Yeah, we did. That was a good time.
that was a good time.
Hot bag talk, Space
bag
Jam.
talk.
Oh man,
Some of those are
fun
real
ones.
bangers, you
Those are
know.
great. Hot Bag Talk's probably... Oh, our SEMA recap from like 2018 where I was screaming at Dane to get in the car.
Yeah.
And he was yelling back. It was telling that was one of our highest viewed podcast episodes ever.
Oh man,
We hit like the
There's
top.
some good
We were
stuff.
like the top 5 of all podcasts of automotive. During
We
that
did
week.
podcasts from on the road
Yeah.
in the car going
Yeah.
to SEMA. That was definitely a fun way to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Auto giving us a smash that thumbs up. Thank you, man. And then Spencer Mation.
Oh,
Howdy, Levi. Got a good one for you. It's 2024. You're going to open a detail shop and only offer ceramic coatings, consumer and pro only. What are you offering to your customers? Opti, Roar, Gtech.
there you go.
I think, honestly, what I would do nowadays is if it was just me and I knew I could survive on coatings only, which I'm still not 100% sure you could, but if you can, for speed and ease of install,
you could survive on applying them, but selling them, I don't. know as much there.
I think if it was the only thing I was selling, right?
Yeah.
I would be selling Opti, and I would be selling Diamond Protec. Plain and simple.
On the pro end or on the consumer
on the
end?
pro
Yeah,
end.
on the pro
I'd be
end.
pro installers if I was doing pro because they both offer consumer coatings.
Yeah.
Because gloss coat is still honestly the best coating you could buy for a beginner to install.
Because you really can't mess it up.
Yeah, and then the Diamond Protec line is super easy. But I think the problem comes when a lot of people for consumer stuff, they just don't know how to properly install. They watch a YouTube video, but they've never had someone actually show them or watch them. Anthony and I spent this past weekend training people, a married couple that was looking to start a business, a detail business. And we spent the weekend at my house training them, utilizing their mobile rig on how to detail 2 vehicles. And we coated one of the cars, and we coated it with Diamond Body 36. And the biggest thing we had to work with was teaching them when the wipe-off point was. Mm-hmm. We showed them how to install it, how to wipe it off, and then we had to look for high spots.
Yeah.
And that, I think, single-handedly having someone there that knows how to show you. You guys can watch YouTube videos all you want, but having proper training to install a coating is a real huge, huge investment. Especially if you're going to be installing coatings on a pro level, you need to be educating yourself in the proper education of it. Because I've said it thousands of times. I went to one of the first pro Opti coating training classes.
Yeah.
And a dude there was using blue Scott's towels that had oil all over them, and he was wiping it on a car, installing coatings with that. Not utilizing their applicator, but utilizing a towel that he liked that had a bunch of oil in it he didn't even know about.
Yeah.
And then his big question was, these coatings suck. They all fail.
And that's what will happen a lot of times if you were to put something that is pro coating in the hands of someone who has no prior experience with it or just doesn't understand the differences. They're just gonna assume like, oh, this sucks. I hate this. And it's like, well, it wasn't meant for your particular use because it's gonna last longer. But there's a lot of work you got to do in advance, a lot of prep work. But what I was gonna say was like, for example, Matt over at OG and another guy were talking about coatings and why they thought the concept of pro coatings was stupid. And it was one of those interesting things that came out because they thought, oh, the training and all that stuff, like it should just be open to everybody. There shouldn't be this gatekeeping that goes on. But I've seen enough to know that like there's some coatings that just would not be good in a regular user. Like my hands just wouldn't work.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of people think, oh, I can do this. Do you really have the time to install a true pro level coating? And some people do, some people don't.
Sure.
And like Anthony, if he is living this enthusiast style where he is really good at what he does, then yeah. Like,
yeah, he could apply enough patience.
Yeah, you're right. Or like Matt Mormon. He's got the skills. He's got the technical capabilities.
He's got the eye for it.
He knows how to do it. Then, yeah, I get that. But we're talking about people who have never installed a coating
Give
before.
it to your uncle who's used to applying paste wax, and it's going to be a different story.
Yeah, or a person who's just excited to just put a coating on and they don't see it. You know, we still had to walk that Jeep a few times.
Yeah.
Because even though we were doing it panel by panel, they were still leaving high spots that they hadn't seen yet.
Right.
They didn't know were there, but Anthony and I saw them. We're
it.
like, hey, there's a high spot here. This is what a high spot looked like. You need to get that. And they're like, oh my gosh, we didn't see that. Thankfully, because of Diamond 36, we were able to hit those and remove them properly, which is key, and that's why those two coatings, Optimum and Diamond Protect are so great, being carbon coatings, is they're able to do that being an SIC style coating. So, I'm not saying I wouldn't do Gtechniq. I'm just saying that those are the two I would pick because those are the two brands I like based on the maintenance schedule of those coatings. Again, I think they provide the best, easiest form for folks to be able to utilize or get in touch with. With that said, I probably wouldn't sell the 36. I'd probably just sell Diamond Body to customers. And I would just sell Gloss Coat to customers. Yeah, and then I'd leave the Pro versions available for that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't give them everything.
Sure. And I can hear somebody in the audience already going, oh, what a terrible choice. I wouldn't pick those. I'd pick insert XYZ, whatever their favorite is. You have to understand that there's so many options out there that you could have had a good experience with something that we've never tried, and you could have had a bad experience with something that we might be recommending. The fact of the matter is we wouldn't recommend it if we didn't have a good experience. Yeah. So just understand that experiences can differ, and if we're recommending something, we actually had a good experience with it in your case, or even my case.
Yeah. Anthony, what would you do?
I'd probably go Opti as well. Gtechniq, I mean, here's the thing. Like, their Crystal Serum Ultra, amazing coating. It's awesome, right? It's not the easiest to apply. No. It's really not. I mean, especially in, like, high humidity or just warmer weather. I mean, it can flash pretty quick, so you got to be careful. I'd say Diamond. I think the Diamond Protect stuff, like any of the Diamond 120 stuff would be good. Again, but it's a multi-layer process, right? It's part of the deal. Man. Never played with Roar coatings. I don't know. I'd probably go Optimum. Probably go Optimum as well. Yeah. I mean, I've had nothing but good results with OptiCoat Pro Plus and all of the Optimum
Pro Plus
stuff.
has always been.
I mean, gosh, if you imagine if you were doing gloss coat jobs, right? Like people bring you gloss coat jobs like on new vehicles, and they were paying you $1,000.
Yeah. All day long.
That's like literally like I would.
That's gold.
That's gold. You've struck gold. If you could do gloss coat coatings and only gloss coat, charge $1,000 per new vehicle,
kill it.
Be rich.
That's a job that sells itself. That's ridiculous.
You would have the job done in an hour. You'd have your feet kicked up, watch a movie,
and
go see Dune 2 twice.
They would have a coating that, even though it says it's like 18-month coating, that coating has the capacity to last for almost 3 years.
Oh yeah, gloss coat can last years and years. I mean, it's a super underrated coating. for what it's worth.
Well, what do you do about the folks? Because I see this all the time online where somebody says, oh, a coating's supposed to last this amount of time. Mine died after 8 months, 10 months, 12 months,
People don't
whatever it
understand
is.
what coating
They don't even
failure
necessarily,
means.
do they necessarily know that it has failed, or is it just dirty or clogged or whatever? That's always something that needs to be part of the conversation. Because
Well, that's what you teach as a pro installer.
To point fingers and go, that's garbage.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
as a
just
pro
immediately.
installer, that's what you teach.
Yeah.
You show the customer this is what you do.
I just see so much trigger.
Yeah, but
pulling
again,
online.
those are
It's
people that
ridiculous.
aren't usually professionally trained in how to install the product.
But for example, those who feel that they are, I've been to these trainings,
Yeah,
I've been to
but
this, maybe not the
Doesn't matter.
specific one
It doesn't
you're talking
matter.
about.
Every coating manufacturer is different. Every chemistry level is different. Every chemical makeup of a coating is completely different from the coating next to it. There are basic building blocks, but there are very different. CCI coatings are completely different than PNS coatings. Optimum is completely different than CCS. You know, the closest that...
CCS or CCI, I don't know what you're saying. CCS.
Or CCI. That's
Okay.
the other one. That's another coating company. So I'm just saying there's different. It's completely different than Roar.
Sure.
Like there are chemical differences. There are TiO2 coatings. There are SiO2 coatings. There are SiC coatings. There are, I mean, it's just, you can keep going.
So I'll be a little facetious here. So what you're telling me is I can't just take my homemade, APC followed by my panel wipe that I concocted myself, isopropyl whatever, and go and apply like Diamond Protec and say it's just as good.
Yeah,
And then
no, you
be
can't.
mad if it doesn't work.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Get trained.
Anyways, moving on.
Get
We're on that
trained.
one for a while. Franco says the rag cab confessions format.
That's a nice idea. I like that.
That would require a car as a recording booth.
David Boyce asking, how many week will the Shamrock detailer last? What do you think? Week?
A week.
It's
just a quick detail.
literally it's paint gloss. I mean, it is
Yeah.
paint gloss. So it's
meant to be
it's just a
fun.
fun paint gloss. Toyota Dude says, good afternoon, everyone. Hearing about all the good reviews on the Brooks made me wonder if I need to switch up from my usual Saucony?
Is it Sauconys or Sauconys?
It's Sauconys.
Sauconys. Try them.
I'm honestly not familiar with Sauconys.
I
so
used to wear
have no idea.
Sauconys. They're quite nice. Nate here. Next day, Nate. Big Saucony fan.
He's also a
Okay.
big New Balance fan.
Also a big New Balance fan. But
Read into that however you
But
will.
I will say I used to wear Sauconys a lot. I really liked Sauconys. And then my wife said, you need to get your first pair of Brooks.
Okay.
And when I bought my Brooks, my life changed. And after that, I was a Brooks man through and through. So
I didn't want to be a Brooks man.
you didn't want to be a
I
Brooks
didn't
man.
want to. No, I wanted to wear Vans
Yeah.
for the rest of my life.
Yeah. You were like, these are
And
really
then
cool.
then I'm here now, hunched over in the Rag Company podcast, maybe because I did wear Vans
Yeah, maybe.
for many, many years. But now I'm wearing Brooks running shoes, and I've never felt more comfortable.
That's right. There
I
we
mean,
go.
I was in DC's forever, but putting me into the Brooks definitely made my back appreciate me a lot more.
See?
I'll say that much.
And Andy's also more nimble. I mean, you should see how nimble Dane is. He can stretch and he can climb.
I mean,
as-
that's just built.
his
in. It doesn't matter
backyard-
how
What
big
I love
get,
is
I'm
every
still
morning when he's
flexible.
got a new pair of pants or shorts, he shows us how much he can stretch. them.
flexible.
That's right.
Yeah.
You
He
know,
goes, I don't know if you guys know, but I can do this with them.
He's Dane the Mountain Goat Hennon.
Yeah.
I mean,
remember
seriously.
when I'm stretching, doing all that, the pants are the limiting factor.
Yeah.
It is. It's not his skin, nor is it his muscles. It is, nor is it his
Fabric.
joints. It is the fabric around him.
Yeah. That's
There we
why
go.
Dane is a performance fabric man.
Jeff C says, "In Dane we trust."
right.
Thank you, buddy. He's trusting the changes with the podcast. But hey, that too, that works.
Yeah.
Where are we at? We are, no screws is 3. Okay, we go back to this page.
Top of David
There
Boyce
we
there.
go.
Levi, what pad would you recommend on my piano black trim on my Acura B and C pillars? David, it really depends on those panels, but they're probably pretty soft. And again, that's not really a clear coat that you can really be polishing on. So I would probably start with either a yellow Rupes pad or a black Lake Country pad. Or even the yellow Buff and Shine pad. I don't know what pads you have, but that's where I would start. See if that clears it out. If it hasn't cleared them out, then you might want to step up a little bit in aggression or even just compound and buff them out a little more and then bring them back down. And then I would either PPF the snot out of them after they're done or just pull them off and clear coat them because they're not. It's not a great they don't use real automotive clear on them. It's kind of a cheap clear that's very soft and doesn't have any UV protection in it. So
it's almost like they put interior piano black on the exterior.
It's like
That's what it feels
a
like.
resin. It's a type of resin.
It's just like
that
a
they
resin.
use.
It's just so prone to
Mike
damage.
Kaufman says no screws, just 3M.
Talking about that deflector,
Okay.
I'm assuming. Yes.
If it's not on the paint on the outside, I think it's probably fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just on the underside, go
Yeah.
for it. Let's see. Jeff C says sponsor Brooks Cam. He needs to have the actual Brooks
Ding,
logo
ding, ding.
on the cam. Fred says, "Hi everyone, Joey Belinsky for 2024 Grand Bastard of the Year."
That was right after he said the Vessi thing, is how he was responding there.
Too funny.
It's not looking good with the Vessies. At least judging by his reactions to stuff.
In Focus just got done washing the car with the USS, and it is my favorite sponge now. Nice.
Yeah.
All my others are now put in the corner. That's what we like to hear. Good work.
Good, man. It's good.
And then Jamie the Cleaner with the hashtag sock change for the Vessi socks.
Gotta rock the socks.
And then,
all right.
go down. Super Auto with Al saying, what's your go-to detailing products to clean your athletic shoes and what products to protect them, both when new and after cleaning? So, fun fact, we used to have the ColorLock shoe cleaning kit here, but we don't have it anymore. Now, they do make a shoe cleaning kit at colorlock.com. You can go to their website and you can purchase it. But my main cleaner is I literally love using mild cleaner from Koshkami or from KC or from ColorLock. Mm-hmm. But you could use Polestar, you could use Express, you could use Cockpit. We've used interior cleaner from i2, right? i1. What is the
TriClean?
TriClean. Mm-hmm. We use TriClean in a pinch when we've been on the road to clean up our shoes. Any of your normal interior cleaners are going to do a great job at cleaning your shoes. So I would pick up some of those. Our foaming bottle, the little KCX foaming bottle, is a really great way to use those because you can mix a little bit in there. Maybe even just buy the foaming bottle, go out to your garage, grab some of your favorite interior cleaner, pour some in there. The ColorLock brush that we carry is another great tool. That brush, that foamer, give a couple pumps, scrub up your shoes, clean them up. It's great at cleaning the sides, cleans the fabric. And you can leave it like that, or if you're running a light colored fabric, if you're running dark, it's not a problem, but if you're running a white or cream, you do want to rinse them out, rinse all that soap out, and then let them dry. That way they're back to normal. But realistically, pairing that foamer, the KCX foamer bottle, with the ColorLock brush and your favorite interior cleaner.
Okay.
Make the magic happen.
Now, Mike here is replying to InFocus, talking about his USS. Mike asks, what's the difference between it and DIY's Legacy sponge?
DIY's Legacy sponge is two sponges glued together. It's basically the foam from the Ultra Black and the Big Red stuck together.
Okay.
So it's two of Ivan's creations glued together into one sponge. Our USS,
It's like a chimera.
Yeah, our USS is a complete departure from the Ultra Black in the sense that it's a completely different foam. It's gray and it's softer than the black.
You'll see that reflected in the price as well, I might add.
That's why.
And InFocus, because he said everything else went in the corner, he did say he also has a DIY.
I have the DIY and a very seasoned Big Red sponge.
So he feels pretty strongly
and
about
he loves the USS. That's what we were hoping for. That's why we developed it.
Yeah.
Too Fresh says, "Hey, I rock the Hey Dudes, and I coated to make them waterproof, most comfortable shoes I've owned." We actually have quite a few Hey Dudes fans here at the Rag Company.
Yeah.
That we cannot quite win over to the Brooks side. We've tried. We've held them down. We've tortured them.
We've offered them a discount.
We've offered them a discount. They just
Hefty
they want to stick with their Hey Dudes, and you know what? And the thing is, I just
nothing
it is
wrong
what
with
it
that.
is.
So fun fact, Anthony and I have coated our shoes with ColorLock waterproofer, and that works great at keeping your shoes very clean. He's got a can on the desk, Dane.
Nice. I might have to steal
you
that.
have to clean yours.
You have to
Dane.
clean your shoes first, and
My
then
shoes are clean.
No, Dane, they're not clean
You've been
enough.
wearing
They
them.
need to
These
be.
ones
They need to
are
be
clean.
you climb the side of your house.
My
These
guy
ones
Kirby-
I've worn maybe 4 times.
My guy Kirby says, "Hello, TRC crew and
They're new.
viewers too. Busy now. We'll watch afterwards. FYI, frostbite is really worth having when the vehicle used to be white."
Okay, good to know.
All right.
Okay.
Joey Belinsky, Toontown underwear change is a goated life pro tip right there.
I mean,
That's
he's
right.
not wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
Because it's quieter.
Well, no, it's not. It's actually really not quieter.
you
It's
need
actually,
to find a private space. Do not do that in public.
It is crazier over in Toontown technically, but what I like to call that is like that's the tip, right? So you've reached the
It's the
tip.
top,
It's
the peak.
it's a peak that you've
Yeah.
reached at, and by the time you reach the peak, you're already halfway throughout the day, right?
Yeah.
Or you're at some part
Because
of
you
the
can go
day.
east or west.
Because you don't go to Toontown first, right? Toontown's like your
Toontown's the
third
last-
or fourth
the
or
second
fifth
to last
visit.
bit of the
So
day.
that's where you do the sock and underwear.
It's usually
change.
also where you do some light stretching.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to run the kids a little bit because there's
Sure.
more open areas
Yeah.
for them.
Playground
the
area.
floor is softer there,
Yeah.
so they can't hurt themselves.
It is.
Okay.
And
So
so
it's
you
a great
can
place to do
yeah.
calisthenics and stretches and whatnot. I mean, honestly, maybe
Get you ready for the evening.
next time I go, considering the path I'm on right now, I may be doing some type of Pilates or yoga there,
We
right?
should start doing yoga, you and I.
We
Heck, I'll join you guys.
it just they're like, what is that crunching sound? I'm like, oh, that's Levi's shoulders, right?
Just me cracking and
like,
snapping.
And who is that crying and whimpering in the corner? Oh, that's Anthony. You're in severe pain right now.
Meanwhile, I'm like inverted. Like, what's the matter, guys?
Yeah, Dane is upside
Makes no
down.
physical sense.
Yeah.
Dane is scratching his nose with his toe.
Yeah, and Dane's like, I don't know what the problem is, boys.
I don't
know.
get it. Why are you mad?
Feels pretty.
great.
This is comfortable.
So, in focus here, my Coven, it's much softer than the DIY and conforms a lot better. Now, in fairness, one thing I have heard from Jamie, I watched his video with the sponge comparison recently, a trade-off being that, okay, the USS is certainly conforms to spaces better, it's softer. The trade-off is you make it a little more scrubbing power from like the Ultra Black, the previous sponge, just a little bit, but it's enough to make a difference on those nasty bugs, unless you just use a stronger product.
Well,
Up
that's
to
why
you.
you would pair it with your clay scrubber.
Yeah.
And it's sitting in the bucket. You're going to use that as your Jersey bug scrubber.
Yeah, you have your Jersey bug scrub.
It will wipe sealant. Just go with SO01. No need to pick up SO03. And in the foam cannon, 50 to 100 milliliters is just fine. Yeah. Meridian Marmot. RRW is the new Marmot Shower Solution
Ooh.
2.0. Smells so good, Mrs. Marmot can't resist me.
All right.
It's nice to know that, the Marmot's still getting.
He's a
Getting
slippery little guy.
Brett G says, assuming there's no direct sunlight, do you notice a difference in how long you can let the chemicals dwell in low versus high humidity areas?
a
No,
good question.
I've never noticed it, but I will say it's more heat than humidity.
Yeah, and you have to be pretty
Temperature-
specific. I mean, like high humidity, spraying like a wheel cleaner and just letting it dwell for a
At a
longer
low temperature, it's not really.
Yeah, there's like a ceramic coating or a sealant, yeah, but you're not letting that dwell, right? You're spraying and wiping,
Yeah.
or you're applying and removing. It's not those are the chemicals you're going to be weirder about, but like in terms of like soap and stuff like that, assuming there's no direct sunlight,
Humidity doesn't have as much of an impact.
Yeah, I
on
would say the
those.
temperature kind of changes. So like for even like just Idaho, because we don't have that humidity, I've never had to really experience it, but I will say temperature plays a big key. Over 100 degrees, it's not really, even if you're not in the sun, it's not really fun to wash in because your car, like it just starts drying because it's so dry and warm outside. If it's same thing with sub-freezing, everything's going to start freezing on
It's
the
going to
surface.
perform a little weird,
Like
and then it's going to freeze.
it's going to perform weird, and then it's going to freeze. And so, and I would work outside in both of those.
You were working out in
temperatures.
some colder conditions,
And so,
for sure.
I've seen interiors change color or products act funny or ice up or all that stuff. So, but yeah, Anthony's right. As long as it's not coating,
Now-
probably good.
Along those lines, what about if the vehicle was, say,
Dane.
coming out of a garage and it was cool, but your ambient temperature is hot outside, you take it out, working quicker, you could still get it done before the whole thing heats up. Is that unreasonable?
No.
Okay. I was going to say ambient temperature versus
Yeah.
actual panel
Exactly.
temp definitely can play a role,
we are we're 50 minutes behind. We have 20 minutes left, so let's
I
we
know.
we
I
gotta-
just
go.
wanted to throw it out there for the folks
Yeah.
wondering.
Hello,
out.
men of Microfiber. Do you any of you know the protocol to prep a vehicle for PPF? If a ceramic coating is already on the vehicle, does it need to be polished off? Thank you. Yes, it does.
I recommend it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hans,
Bam.
Dynamic Trio. Hello, Dynamic Trio. What's up, Hansi? And then in focus, I'd love an ultra wheel body brush that didn't have a handle or a very short handle. I feel like it's designed like an interior brush that you hold the brush head. Would be great on wheels versus the handle. That's what that thumb button's for. Mm-hmm. So you can choke up on the brush.
Yeah, I get
what you're saying. More of a palm style. Problem is, not all of us have your beautiful hands in focus.
Well, it was being able to reach. I mean, having the handle is meant to assist with that issue. If you're having to reach down there, it's not great for your back and stuff all the time.
Hans with a Lucas from customer service needs a pay raise. I had to call him, and he sorted everything out for me. Oh, you remember Hans got himself a free bottle of Frostbite from the TR SEMA giveaway.
Oh, he did. Yeah. I love it when they spring those giveaways on me last second and say, hey, Dane, watch the comments. We got to... Yeah, and I can't find the comments afterwards. Awesome.
And Jamie backing Lucas up, saying he's awesome. It's good to know.
He did a tour with him, actually, on his channel on a video.
Sapper and a Shelby. Oh, my. Talking about the SEO today. Dang. Hope everyone's having a great Thursday.
It came up in passing.
And then shout out to the customer service team.
Yeah.
From
Eduardo.
Joey Belinsky. I've been going through a lot of rippling rags with an elderly dog in the house.
Oh.
Yep. I need a subscription. I understand. Fletcher Power Clean is the GOAT. I purchased another APC to test it out. Cleaned some tires with the new APC undiluted. Foam was white after a couple of scrubs. To test how well it worked, I hit it with a PC. And before even scrubbing, Power Clean was pulling all kinds of brown off that tire. Other APCs just do not compare.
Bam.
Power Clean's pretty powerful.
And then Ire First with a rapid rinseless wash or absolute. You can have both. You can just play back and forth. That's what I love about rinseless. People ask me that. They ask Anthony that. What are you guys using? I have a bottle of O&R. I have a bottle of Absolute in my garage. I use either one, whatever changes. I just want to make a new bucket. I like the smell.
It's wild.
It's the same thing I'm going to do with RRW. I'm going to throw it in there and just pick and choose. So, and then everybody saying, oh no, wait, what? He got hit by a car. Neil White and Alex G. and Franco. Neil White says, heck yeah, I'm headed over to that GoFundMe page. Franco, the GoFundMe page. Let's unpretzel Joe Wetzel. Sending you love, brother. Get well soon.
That's a good way to look out.
That's pretty much what it is. And then our first says, oh, Jesus, there's the lads. And then David Cervantes, got to go, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Exodus FX, Tony's is a seasoning line.
I gotcha. Yeah.
So that was page 3. We're on to page 2.
And then Eduardo, can someone put the GoFundMe in the chat? I'm not in the Facebook group.
So when you saw me on my phone earlier, that's what I was trying to do that. With.
Yeah. And then Exodus, what do y'all recommend for cleaning a grimy engine harness and electrical connectors as a result of a previously leaky valve cover? So a couple things. We've got a video coming out on engine cleaning that I did. Anthony and I use a number of different products that we like to use. One being, it's kind of a slept-on product that works as well, is we always like to use some form of an APC. So whether that be Power Clean, Forced, Green Star, Multi-Star, Diluted, Mud Buster, any of those kind of products can be used for that. But after you've sprayed your initial spray, soak, and rinse, next one that we love bringing in is Magic Wheel Cleaner. It really gets in, and because it's a gel and it sits and dwells, it has a really long active time. It does an amazing job at cleaning off excess grime on surfaces. So Exodus, you might try that. Hit it with an APC first, then and a brush, and then go back over it with some Magic Wheel Cleaner, and that really does put the little cherry on top.
You can also go through the electrical harness. You can grab it, wear some gloves, and go through and agitate it with a brush. Obviously, it's not pretty or a fun job, and your back's going to hurt. But I mean, yeah, you want to be slightly sensitive around the wiring harness. Make sure there's nothing exposed. But yeah, that's it. Jojo Karate says sup fellas, and then we have Greg asking. Any new or upgraded diamond body products coming out in the next month or so?
He was asking because we have Tyler here.
We don't have Tyler here.
We did
ask him that right now, but yeah. So as of right now, no. But in the Pro line, there is going to be that new Hydro, and they are working on some other ideas. So just be patient.
Yeah.
Everybody saying positive thoughts for Joe and his family.
Yep.
From Alex G. And then I hear the Easy Peasy Cleaner Cast is the best. Yep. That's right,
Likes
Mike.
that coating there.
And then maintenance washes from Neil. Help me keep the coating going strong. That's the biggest thing is maintenance washing the appropriate way. And then T-Line Auto Detailing saying, hey, geez, Levi, where could I go to get ceramic training? Maybe on May 11th specifically. Tony, I was going to mention that. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. May 11th, Teabag himself is going to be here down the street, right here in our very own storefront, teaching an inspiration coating thing. A two-beer Tony, as we call him.
I was going to say, nobody calls
I actually said that to Tony the other back in Florida, and I was like, "What's up, man? Good to see you, T-Bag." He's like, "Oh man,"
He's like,
really
really?
was disappointed. It was sad. It was like, I'm not mad or angry. I'm just disappointed. It was
It just
that kind
feels
of.
like you're getting hit with a
He was
sack
like,
full of
I don't like that, and I go,
When
really?
you hear that name
Yeah.
and they call you that,
Yeah,
it's like,
it was pretty
T-Bag.
funny.
Oh.
So anyway, Tony Mazzell, the great Tony Mazzell, lead trainer for PNS
He's a
Detail
really
Products,
good guy, guys.
is going to be hosting a training May 11th here at the Rag Company. Cost is, I believe, $250. We just posted on the MVP detailing page. You guys can check that out. I'm actually going to try and I was going to get an email in because I saw that post this morning. I want to get an email on a list on the events page for the Rag Company.
Yeah.
So we'll have that up on the page tomorrow. The team's been really good about getting stuff loaded up quickly for us. So, but yeah, we'll have that up there, and you guys can sign up if you want. It's a very small class. Tony, I think we've only got less than 15 spots or 16 spots available.
Exclusive.
So if you guys are local to Boise and you want to learn, that's another good reason because, like I said, got to be trained.
Yeah.
Neil White, All Day Anthony, I really enjoyed your OG behind the scenes vid. You and Matt are super funny together.
Thank you. I'm glad people are liking those videos. They're a lot of fun.
They are. All
Are
right,
you
we're on
just
the
jumping
page.
around?
No, the page
Okay,
jumped like
it's
3
jumping,
spaces,
yeah.
so it kicked it.
And then Hans says, Vessi man, that's not true. And then Mike's panic. Oh, thanks TRC for putting the towels in bigger bags now. My newest batch had much larger bags, and I was able to actually get them back in after washes. Nice.
Sweet.
That's awesome, man. And HM saying, howdy, folks. What's going on?
Howdy.
And we just answered
Yeah, we
Mike's-
answered that one.
Mike Zapanos.
Okay, we're on to
There's
2
Zupas.
now.
HM, it's Friday Junior. That's right. And then Han saying Dane Van Dam and Joy Blinsky.
Give me between 2 semis.
Dane has the hip flexibility that some people pay good money for. That's right.
I mean, there's probably a lot of people who would rather have it than
Yeah.
me. That's fair.
And then Umberto with all I know is that since Dane wears Brooks, neighbors say he is exercising with the song, let's get physical. I want to get physical.
You know what?
And
I
then-
don't do it for the audience. I do it for me, but if that's the way it works, it's the way it works.
And then
the truth is that you have an audience, Dane.
Yeah, it's kind of alarming when you actually notice it.
Joey Blinsky says you can throw your vesties in the wash.
Oh,
And then
wash. I thought it
he
said
reminds
trash.
us that Brake Buster's a good shoe cleaner too. Yes, you're not wrong, Joey, but your shoes got to be pretty hammered if you're running Brake Buster on those bad boys. We did a small video.
I think it just goes
Decades
to
ago.
Remember
that
remember
Vessies
that
get way
video back in
dirtier.
the day?
I think so.
Oh,
And
shoes.
it's kind of a trash shoe.
Okay.
No, just kidding.
The video we did was on some rough shoes.
We did do them on some rough shoes. Someone brought in their beat up shoes, and we had to clean them with Brake Buster. But yeah, you can use Brake Buster on it. It's a little too heavy for my taste.
I
for
like
That's a
my-
video that's like 7 years old now.
that. It is
My
7 years old.
shoe cleaner of choice is usually a dedicated shoe cleaner that has saddle soap in it.
Well,
I like a little bit of saddle
the
soap.
Brooks that you guys are wearing have suede in them,
Yeah.
so
I
you
just
have some,
I
you want to
think
be careful with that.
there's like the Mr. Pink, right? I think Mr. Pink has a little bit of saddle soap in it. There's a few others that have saddle soap, but saddle
There's
soap,
the new shoe Lotta.
I don't know, there's something about it. I think I like the way they look and feel after that. That's just me personally.
All right.
Here we go. We've got Jesus saying, what's your advice for the weekend guy that wants to try coating on their own vehicle that they can't justify the cost of training right now?
Cost of trading
Cost-
right now?
Dude, gloss coat. We were
Get
just
gloss
talking
coat.
about that earlier. Yeah, gloss coat. That will spoil you, and then you'll think
Yeah.
all coatings are that easy, though, and it's not
That's
true.
true.
But gloss coat's very easy.
Yeah. And then Mike Zupas says, yeah, when I was a kid, the jazzercise people wore Brooks. That's because it held their feet in. That's the reason.
It's a pretty solid reason.
Yeah. They weren't rolling ankles.
All right, coating towels trash
Capital
after
High
use.
School baseball.
Huh.
CHS baseball. I don't know if it's Capital High School, but
Probably not.
coating towels trash after use. Not always. You can throw them in a bucket, soak them, and put a little R&R in the bucket, and soak those towels as soon as you finish using them. Don't let them dry, and then wash them, and you'll have some. You'll have ability to utilize those towels in interior or wheels or engine bay cleaning. You can secondary use those towels, which is a big thing. Remember, we always talk about cost per use. So the more you can use something, the less it becomes. Cheaper it is.
Okay.
And then Al saying, and to protect the shoes. Maybe you're answering that now regarding color lock waterproofer. I was thinking more along the lines of an interior ceramic. Basically, interior ceramic works the same way. The color lock waterproofer is an aerosol-based waterproofer. And so it tends to bond a little better, and it's actually designed more for a more delicate fabric like a suede or a nubuck, and it's designed to waterproof those types of surfaces. And so it works on the mesh and the microfiber designed plastics and nylons that are in that. It's just able to penetrate.
Considering the texture of a shoe, aerosol probably just does a better job of coverage.
Mm-hmm. Then Joey Belinsky, my first yoga class was a 90-minute hot yoga session, and I'd rather die than do that. Yeah, I
hear that from a lot of people who aren't used to that.
I'm not a hang out in a hot room
no.
and then put my head down. That doesn't seem like a fun time for me.
It feels like dying, from what I understand. Not great.
What's a good detail spray from Tyler Thornton that you can make up at home in a spray bottle if you need a quick touch-up on a dirty spot? Rinseless wash.
I was going to say, O&R was a
O&R,
classic.
absolute.
You did all the time.
Any of those.
Yeah.
You can mix up and utilize it that way.
For sure.
Anthony, the next one.
Yep.
Neil White says Joey Belinsky in a Russian bathhouse.
Okay, I don't know what they're on now.
Joey says, I wish there would at least be some vodka available, among other things.
Oh, dear.
Oh, my God.
Anybody seen Eastern Promises? Yeah. Anyway.
And John
over at Clean and
What's up,
Shiny.
John.
He's here. Hey, guys. Great to see y'all. What's up, buddy?
Glad to see you.
Then Hans, yikes, the chief of Waxstock Police is here.
That's
and
right.
EC saying, hey, everybody.
Hey.
Tyler Thornton, what's a good spray bottle I should look into getting? Depends on the size of the spray bottle. You can pick some up at your grocery store if you're looking for a small little 2-ounce or 4-ounce bottle. But if you're looking for like a 16-ounce bottle, we always recommend the IK sprayers. They're always great. And then Hans with I'm on the IDA Health and Wellness Committee now. Correct.
Nice.
Awesome, Hans. Thank you. Then Joey is now talking about that. And then Neil White says TRC make and sell this Tony sticker shirt.
That was brutal.
Hans, Tony
you
the
just
trainer.
laid him out to rest.
Triple T. Nice. We
man.
can call him Triple T. That's a good one.
All right.
EC, love me some Tony. That man has more nicknames
brutal.
than any person alive.
How does that happen?
Mazel the Gazelle.
To Dear Sweet Tony.
Because he makes all these nicknames up for himself. It's not my fault. No, it is my fault. I'm sorry, Tony. I love you. You know that. Joey with the fixes in. And that's what
back
EC
and forth.
heard.
A lot of back and forth.
What giveaway? Thought we were Levi and O&R tight. Thought we were like Levi, O&R, and O&R tight.
You and O&R are tight.
We are tight.
Yeah.
Welcome back, TRC again. In fact, I got a call from Dr. G that I need to return.
Oh.
Anton, just got your USS here in the Philippines. Tried it on a couple of cars. Dang, it is great and soft.
Nice.
Awesome, Anton. Tommy Chicago saying, welcome back, TRC gang.
We're happy
Thank
to have you here, too.
Anton says, sorry late, it's 5 o'clock here.
And then
That's
EC
all right.
Details.
Oh, thank you.
With
man.
a super chat.
Easy keep it
Thank
real
you, sir.
podcast, the Cleaner Cast, KIR 10. Look at that, paying
Bam.
$20 for an ad.
You know?
There you
But
go. Not too bad. You
we'll
did
clap for that. You know? I'll clap
Keep
for
it
that.
real 10.
Yeah, buddy.
Then Hans, sign up to Dane's fans page where he will be showing some spreads.
Oh, no.
Chubby
No.
Dinosaur, when will you sign orders again? I need some signed KCX bottles. Chubby Dinosaur, all you got to do is in the notes, put it in there. Say, I'd like the boys to sign my
The comment
bottles.
field on your order. However you
Yeah,
place
it
your
says
order,
comment.
there should be a field that says, oh, do you have any comments about your
comment.
order? You say, I want Levi to sign my blank, and they'll set it aside.
Yeah.
But that's how we find out, because we're not over there seeing them
Yeah, we
come
don't
in
get
as
to
they
see
come
them.
in, so we don't know unless
They have to come over and
they
get us.
know.
Yeah, and they only know if it says it in the comments.
Exactly.
True.
Tyler Thornton, should I get a rinseless wash for interiors or should I get a dedicated interior cleaner? Tyler, you can use either or.
Yeah.
with appropriate brush, you can use either or.
Yeah, no, it's possible. Sorry, I was laughing at Neil's
Dane fantasizes over getting in a fight with Viggo Mortensen in a Russian bathhouse via Eastern
If you've seen that
Promises.
movie, you would not want to fight him. I don't want to fight him. That looks like a terrible time. That looks like a really, really bad time.
Ira First is right. Absolute mixed with paint gloss is savage. It's pretty insane. Jeff C. Are coatings vulnerable to diesel fuel spills or nothing to worry about for a few hours? My wife needs to know so she doesn't get the reaction she got from me yesterday. It should be fine, Jeff. Randall Gerlander, just curious if you guys have the same issues with as Matt Mormon with the wool pads being grabby on the new Rupes. I'm not just curious, and can I use Green Star with the Ultra Air Blaster Plus for interiors? So we haven't played with the new Rupes enough to find out if the wool is too grabby or not.
I didn't think it was that much. I didn't think it was that much more grabbier. I do not necessarily love the new design of the wool pad, personally. But they did that because it reduced delamination issues and it reduced breaking down of the foam that they were having previously. But I miss the previous design of the wool pad. With that said, I can still get behind the new design and I can understand why they did that.
Yeah. And then the second part of your question, can I use Green Star with the Ultra Air Blaster Plus for interiors? I will tell you, what respirator do you have if you're going to use Green Star or any chemical? But yes, you can just dilute it quite a bit. But you could just use water. That's what the Ultra Air Blaster is actually designed for, is just water. You just use water to clean your interiors. There's enough pressure and water that it will clean appropriately. You can pre-soak with some pre-spray of diluted product, give it a little scrub, and then rinse it out with the product. But I never recommend anybody mix up a chemical into a sprayer unless they have, especially a air blaster or air sprayer, without having the appropriate respirator on it. I'm not talking about a plastic dust mask.
No.
I'm talking about that. One thing you guys don't understand, and I'm going to
err
take
on the side of
I'm going to
caution.
take the 4 minutes here to say this since this is
Yes.
the last comment.
Do it.
Since May or January of this year, I have been fighting some form of lung issue
It's been bugging you.
that has not left my side. That's what you can hear in my voice. This morning I woke up, I had some asthmatic sounds, and I am pretty sure it's probably something to do with the fact that I've been detailing for 28 years, and I didn't use masks, respirators, any of that stuff. And I will say that those of you that are going to use a blaster, whether it be a Tornador, whether it be our Ultra Air Blaster, or anything like that, and you're mixing chemicals into it, you are going to cause more damage in the few seconds that you do that to your own body if you are not wearing the appropriate PPE that you need to. So I would recommend only using water. And I've always said this since we launched those products, they only need water in them. They do not need a chemical. They work amazing with just water alone. And I'm recommending you only use water. If you don't want to, if you're not going to drink it, don't put it in the gun. Plain and simple. But if you are going to put it in the gun and you're not going to drink it, you better be wearing a respirator. That's all.
No, that's an excellent point. And I think that's a wonderful place to end because, hey, at the end of the day,
Woo, we did it.
We are not going to do anything intentionally that puts people in harm's way when it comes to our recommendations on products. If you hear from somewhere else that something's possible, if you modify, say, like a sprayer and, it runs a potential hazard of maybe it explodes or something like that, obviously we aren't signing off on that. But if we can't control what other people do, all we can do is put our best, word out there that falls into a safe level recommendation. Anything beyond that, we're not liable for. But we just want to look out for the well-being of the people who listen to the show and who hear from those people when they're looking for recommendations. So hopefully that helps you out. But yes, wear PPA and lift with your legs. Yeah.
Yes. And then, of course, damn, I hope you feel better, and thanks for the advice, people. Don't think long-term. advice people don't think of long term. And can you still use the old Rupes wool pads with the cordless tool? Yes, you can.
Yes.
Totally
So,
can, dude.
That truly rounds us out. All right. So thank you so much to everybody who watched today. Hopefully you hit like on this video. If you didn't do it already, you got a second right now. Please do that. Safety first, always, says Anton. Couldn't agree more. And really, thank you guys for turning up today. It's been great viewership, even though we were gone
Thanks
for a
for
little bit.
hanging out with us.
You guys were hanging out, and we had a good time. So we really appreciate that. The new podcast may still be a week or two, or a few weeks even, until that has actually appeared in your feed. But in the meantime, I just want to make sure that you guys know we're working on it. So you'll still have Q&As between then and now. All right, guys. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week, hopefully.
See you guys. See ya.